In this video, in this series, the subject matter remains Charlie Kirk is a simp. Charlie Kirk was a simp. Charlie Kirk himself would blame. Charlie Kirk himself would blame himself. There is no rhyme or reason. There is no rhyme or reason that Charlie Kirk or the ones who love Charlie Kirk allowed him to take part in a marriage with a woman that was not compatible with him. Who's the first one to allow Erika into Charlie Kirk's life?
I was basically like his wingman and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika.
So the people that signed off on Charlie Kirk's marriage, they are the ones who are the blame to this. Now, today we're going to get into how they met. Still a little bit of who she is, because this is a lengthy series. So it's still a little bit of who she is, but more importantly, how they met. Who she is and how they met and who approved it, that's everything you need to know. All this other shit, unfortunately, if Candace can't identify that Charlie is a simp or was a simp, rest in peace, that you could never get to the bottom of this case. Because when we talk about, a man, it's always the man's fault. Who you get with, how you get with, why you get with. And that's why you try to have good people around you to help you make these major, major life decisions. Candace got exiled. And everybody wants to believe that it was because of Israel. But it was because Charlie and women don't know nothing about men, don't understand. Once you get some of that stuff put on you, it'll make you do different things. And then you got somebody who will, quote unquote, play the role. That ain't going to help. You're going to be in a whirlwind as where we found Charlie. So let's get into it.
I'm there thinking it's a business interview.
It started that way.
Right. So we sit down and you grill me for what, 3 hours?
Yeah.
Easily on philosophy, politics.
Charlie sat a Miss Arizona down to talk to her about politics and all this wild stuff. That ain't player. Let's go.
Culture.
Religion, culture. Economics. What else? Everything else you can imagine, he grilled me. Anything he talks about on his podcast show, he grilled me on. Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Just didn't record it.
And then afterwards, he got finished with his burger and he just sat there and he looked at me and he's like, you know what? I'm not going to hire you. And I was like, that's fine. I don't need this job.
Charlie went on a date with Miss Arizona thinking that, you know what? I'm Charlie Kirk. I'm going to go ahead and get with a woman like Miss Arizona, not a wholesome woman who will stay at home and a regular woman. I'm going to get with Miss Arizona. And guess what? I'm going to be blunt about it. I'm going to tell her, look, you're going to date me. I'm going to marry you.
I'm doing plenty of other things here in Manhattan. He's like, I'm going to date you. And you want to take it from there?
And you said...
And you want to take it from there. That is a great segue, guys. Why? Why is that a great segue? Because she can't speak when she's around Charlie. She acts like a damsel in distress around Charlie. But let's see how she really acts when Charlie is not around. And we're just talking about from a speaking standpoint. This woman can speak like the best. But not only does it segue us to where she can speak without Charlie, also you have a live, legitimate reverend or pastor. And they are talking about fellowship. And the pastor says, well, you don't look like a fellow. I'm a pastor. I've been a pastor all these years. You don't look like a fellow. And that, unfortunately, that's a great observation. You know, you don't look like a fellow. So Charlie, as a simp, he gets with a woman who I would say she is a fellow, but she doesn't look like one. So that could be pretty misleading. And then you add on the fact that this woman knows how to speak, act, and play. Dangerous combo. Let's go.
Kind of a little bit together. But the Falkirk Center, because we know that's with Liberty, and but also it's how I even like it is because Turning Point USA is here in Arizona and Phoenix, but also the Falkirk Center, which is very important because Turning Point is more of, I feel like it's like the bridge of for those who are liberals and stuff to get them to be conservative, but also then to find Christ. It doesn't just end up being conservative. But can you tell us a little bit more about the...
Now, I know y'all don't understand that part, but what they're alleging is that Turning Point is to get all the younger kids to turn younger adults to turn conservative, but that's just a bridge for them to get to Christ or to fellowship. Let's go.
Be conservative, but also then to find Christ. It doesn't just end up being conservative. But can you tell us a little bit more about the Falkirk Center? Because you're a fellow there, so...
You don't look like a fellow, though. You look like a lady. No, just
oh my God. About the Falkirk Center, because you're a fellow there, so...
You don't look like a fellow, though. You look like a lady. No, just
You don't look like a fellow. That man's being very honest. And Erika knows. You know, it's a beautiful thing. That's why we never blame the woman. It's just certain things we don't do. Why would we do that? You don't blame the woman.
More about the Falkirk Center, because you're a fellow there, so...
You don't look like a fellow, though. You look like a lady. No, just
oh my goodness.
I know, I know, right?
I'm embarrassing my daughter with that statement.
That's cute. More about the Falkirk Center, because you're a fellow there, so...
You don't look like a fellow, though. You look like a lady. No, just
oh my goodness.
I know, right?
I'm embarrassing my daughter with that statement.
That's cute.
No, that's great. No, it's a great question. So Falkirk Center is something that was born out of a desperate need of seeing that...
Did you know you could be entitled to a 5 or 6 figure payout if you suffered a serious injury at work, like a broken bone?
We had a lot of secular groups out there that were defending the Constitution, but they weren't doing it through a biblical lens. So that's the great thing about the Falkirk Center is that we are defending our rights through the biblical lens and biblical doctrine of understanding that our rights come from God, not from government, and understanding too that there's other voices out there that are not only just proclaiming the gospel, but are also understanding and working within different fields of policy and legislation that are making a difference. And so it's been really amazing to be a Falkirk, but even with Falkirk Center, making a difference. The different summits that we've had and the ones that we are going to have are really going to be the bedrock place of a lot of, like I told you when we were off air, really defending and saving the soul of America. And
Erika is about defending and saving the soul of America through the lens of the fellowship. This is a lot. I don't blame Erika. No one should be able to blame Erika. She is being like every other woman in America, trying to be a boss babe and do their thing.
Really understanding and defending how important it is to have the Bible in schools and how important it is to have the Bible side by side to our ballots and to all the different things in life when it comes to voting and when it comes to even just how we're interacting with people that have opposing opinions. So Falkirk it's not just the white paper think tank. It's bringing together the voices that have a very solid following, but also a very solid understanding of where Scripture and our freedoms come together and join together. So it's been amazing being a part of that.
Can I ask you, Erika? I got to ask you this. I've been wanting to ask someone like you who's in the know. Why, if like Charlie was saying at Jack Hibbs Church, that they've got the schools, they've got the government, they've got the news. why aren't we like, because I don't have money, but why, aren't there more liberties all throughout? Why are we not trying hard to, the Pences, the Trumps, to say we need more liberties, not just in Virginia?
All right. So I just wanted to show you that this woman can speak, but when she's around Charlie, she doesn't speak so much. It's not to blame her. See, because they only going to do what you allow them to do. And it's safe to say that Charlie's a damn simp. Okay, hold on. Let's get to it. Here we go.
Job interview and also partially something else.
So
We had a very brief meeting at the office, and then
they were potentially going to hire me.
and
So Turning Point was going to hire her.
The office from the standpoint of they were potentially going to hire me.
and I knew of Erika. I saw Erika, and we had a very brief meeting.
Charlie knew of Erika. He saw Erika. What does that mean? That means that people was telling him, hey, yo, it's this gorgeous girl, and she has all of qualities that you have, Charlie. And I think, you should possibly take a look at her. Now, everybody didn't say that. But that didn't matter because Charlie's such a simp that once he saw her after they told her about her, he didn't care.
Meeting at the office, and then I had my first conversation with Erika.
He'll tell it differently, so I'll tell you from my side. I was in the Hamptons. I get a random DM on my phone. I have zero service when I'm out there, and all of a sudden this DM flashes up, and it's like, Charlie Kirk DM'd you. Because it's so Charlie. August 31st, 2018. Hey, shoot me a text at, and gave me his number. I didn't respond for a few days.
Charlie Kirk texted the woman, yo, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm big time Charlie Kirk. I'm a simp. I'm trying to get with you. What did she do? Ignored him for 3 days. You heard? But guess what? Candace Owens is the bitch that signed off on this bitch.
I was basically like his wingman and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika.
What simp in this world would have Candace or any bitch as his wingman when it's all about signing off on women? Listen, Candace sitting up here trying to blame Erika but won't say the truth. Charlie Kirk is a fucking simp. He texts this bitch. The bitch ain't responded 3 days. When he gets with the bitch, he said, you know what? I know I was here for an interview, but I'm going to date you. And Miss Arizona said, oh, Charlie, you're such a stunning, dashing. What's the nigga name that played Knight Rider? Fuck is this guy's name, man? Michael Hasselhoff. Oh, Charlie, you're such a Michael Hasselhoff. Fuck out of here.
On my phone. I have zero service when I'm out there, and all of a sudden this DM flashes up, and it's like, Charlie Kirk DM'd you. Because it's so Charlie. August 31st, 2018. Hey, shoot me a text at, and gave me his number. I didn't respond for a few days.
I Instagram messaged her, and said I urgently with her, and it was partially interviewing, also partially something
Over
else.
here, we know what simps are. Charlie Kirk got money, and he Instagrammed or DM'd or whatever. Come on, simp. How do you get with a Miss Arizona, Charlie? Think about it, Charlie. They did you dirty, son. They let you. Who the hell would let Charlie Kirk marry a beauty pageant woman? Charlie Kirk needs a bitch that stays at home, cooks. She needs to be total opposite of Charlie. She doesn't need to be a philanthropist that does orphanages in Romania, ties with the Department of Homeland Security and the Marines, living in New York, all these different places, entrepreneur, real estate license in New York, blah, 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 living in the Hamptons, getting a message from Charlie. What in your right mind would make you wife something like that? Because you're a fucking simp. And Candace won't say shit about it. She keep trying to blame Erika. Well, if you're going to blame Erika, you got to first say Charlie is a simp.
Instagram messaged her and said I urgently need to meet with her. She said, why? And it was partially a job interview and also partially something else.
So when I eventually messaged him back via text, I was like, hey, nice to officially meet you again. What did you want to talk about? Because it was so just random. And he was like, hey, I'm coming into town into New York City. Let's meet at Bill's Burgers. Mind you, I've lived in Manhattan now for about 5 years. I've never.
Bitch is from Arizona, but she left there and lived in Manhattan for 5 years, and she never dated in New York. And Charlie went and got his ass with a bitch that has no father, limited dating history, but he made that bitch his wife. That's a simp.
Eaten at Bill's Burgers before, so that I guess was a sign, like, let's take an adventure tonight for dinner and go find Bill's Burgers and meet your future husband that you have no idea is about to meet your future husband.
And so then we had a great time, and it was about 15 minutes in, I quickly pivoted away from wanting to hire her to wanting to date her, and now we know how that worked.
15 minutes in, I quickly went it from wanting to date, from wanting to hire her, to wanting to fuck her. And we know how that went. We were married. Well, Charlie, were you open to the idea that they planted this bitch in front of you, knowing that you was a simp? And I didn't want to do this early in the series, but we got my guy King Disagreeable here. I didn't want to do this early in my series, but I'm under the. It's too early for it, but I'm gonna just say this one little part. I'm under the impression that Charlie was a virgin. I'm under the impression that Charlie Kirk was a virgin when he met that woman. See, because one thing I do know is a simp. So we're showcasing his sympatry. All you niggas know what a simp is. But I'm also going to add in, which we're going to get into in the series a little later, that I believe this nigga was a virgin.
Well, he got there first only because he was coming back from Fox and he kind of beat me there. And I got out of my taxi and we get our table, we sit down, and he ordered.
Does that look like a virgin on your screen? Does this woman look like a virgin?
He was, the thing that I love though is he was so sweet to.
That's my point, King Disagreeable. Since we met, brother, since we've been speaking, I always told you, niggas with money, how you don't get what you want? How you don't go get a virgin? How you don't go get a woman with one body? How you don't get everything that you desire?
To the waitress. So that was something that I immediately noticed, that he was like really kind to them. And we ordered our food, and then that's when the grilling started happening. Like that's when the interview process started happening. So I'm like, okay, this is a legit interview. Like let's go. I'm glad I had my coffee. Like I'm ready to debate you about Erika.
I'm glad I got my coffee, Charlie. I'm ready to debate you. Mano y mano. Man on man. This nigga Charlie starstruck.
Aristotle and Socrates, and you want to talk about theology? Let's do it.
Well, I'd never met anyone quite like her. I remember I called Tyler and I said he's going to have to find talent somewhere else. And whatever opening he thought she would.
Here we go. Now, this is the dude. I don't know though. I don't know all the names. I think it's Mikey McCoy. I think it's Tyler Robinson. Some of these names that Candace be saying. But here's the guy, Tyler. He's a real friend. And Candace is trying to down talk this nigga. But let me tell you, this dude, Tyler, he's like Candace said.
I was basically like his wingman, and
hold on, a little slow on it. Hold on.
I was basically like his wingman,
little delay,
and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika. I was basically like his wingman, and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika.
Here we go.
I was basically like his wingman, and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika.
I was basically his wingman. That's a simp. And she was pro Erika, but now she's turning on Erika. Look what the dude Tyler said.
I remember I called Tyler and I said he's going to have to find talent somewhere else. And whatever opening he thought she would fill, that was not going to work. And Tyler was trying to coach me down because he said that she was way out of my league.
Tyler tried to coach me down and said she was way out of my league. That is what a real friend would do. Tyler said, look, Charlie, if you want to make love to the woman, you want to fuck the woman, okay. But all of this wifing and these stars that I see in your eyes and this simp that I see in your actions, no. What did Candace Owens say?
I was basically like his wingman, and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika.
Well, hold on. Why would you enjoy being a man's wingman as a woman? Why? You know what?
I was basically like his wingman, and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika.
I was very pro Erika. Well, not Tyler, not the ones that you talking bad about.
I called Tyler and I said he's going to have to find talent somewhere else. And whatever opening he thought she would fill, that was not going to work. And Tyler was trying to coach me down because he said that she was way out of my league.
Is that a simp or is that a simp? Your homie try to tell you, yo, homie, bitch ain't no good. She's out of your league, to put it in a better way. And what does the simp normally do? We all know the answer.
I called Tyler and I said he's going to have to find talent somewhere else. And whatever opening.
Until we can establish that this nigga is a simp, it takes one to know one, okay? Until you can establish that this nigga's a top simp, ain't no moving forward with the murder.
One quite like her. I remember I called Tyler and I said he's going to have to find talent somewhere else. And whatever opening he thought she would fill, that was not going to work. And Tyler was trying to coach me down because he said that she was way out of my league. He's still right, by the way.
So
he's still right, by the way. She was way out of my league and he's still right. So you're doing simp shit and you know it. It don't help that Erika knows how to play the role, give you some babies, play all these games. Now, here's a question. Here's a question to the chat. Would you like a woman that works at I don't know, Dr. Stevenson's office? She's a receptionist at Dr. Stevenson's office, or she works at she's the manager at Taco Project. I don't fucking know. Or would you like a woman like Erika, who's a philanthropist, who has ties with the DHS, the Marines, runs orphanages in the Department of Homeland Security, got a master's degree, an associate's degree, a degree in pastor, speaking at the church, what they call that shit? Real estate license in New York, living in the Hamptons, from Arizona, stayed in New York for 5 years. Homie, what kind of woman the fuck would you want? Who the fuck co-signed this shit? Charlie need a basic bitch. He need a bitch that's willing to stay home and deal with the kids. In my estimation, a woman with all that shit going on, you basically sat her life down. You sat her life down, put babies in her. She got to stay in while you tour around America, going to colleges and stuff and just bringing home the money. Bitches ain't into that no more, especially Erika. She's a top bitch. Why would the dude Tyler said, Charlie, don't fuck with her?
Find talent somewhere else. And whatever opening he thought she would fill, that was not going to work. And Tyler was trying to coach me down because he said that she was way out of my league. He's still right, by the way.
Come on, guys. Candace. Did you tell Charlie that the bitch was out of his league like Tyler? Hell no.
I was basically like his wingman, and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika.
Right. Right. Oh, Magical Family, what's good? Yeah, it's the little series thing I got going on. You know, I watch Candace Owens and I'm like, well, hold on, every time I watch Candace Owens, she makes Erika to be the bad guy. But hold on, Candace, you're making Charlie sound like a simp. I'm getting simp alerts all over the place. Now I decide to go take a look at what happened with these people. And I find out that Erika Kirk, this woman is accomplished. You hear me? Who the fuck marries somebody like that? Matter of fact, let me show y'all something. Because Candace Owens, she's turning on Erika. Bitch, please. Hold on. Turning on the bitch. Watch this. Watch this shit. Who the hell would co-sign Charlie to marry a bitch like this? Who the fuck?
That's why I can relate a lot to the Manhattan. I was so career minded. My mother raised me.
I was so career minded. My mother raised me. No daddy, which is fine. But my thing is, that ain't for no damn Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk should have a woman that has a mother and a father. The man's a fucking simp. Nigga's a clown, man. Erika's an agent. Let's say she is. Who the hell would sign off on a homeboy to marry a damn beauty pageant agent? Who the hell would do that?
And this is why I can relate a lot to I was so career minded. My mother raised me.
Charlie would marry a career minded woman? How? He talks about, and that's another thing that makes Charlie a simp. He talks so bad about men. Oh, nigga, you need to get yourself together. You need to do this for a bitch, do that for a bitch. Just like every other simp that we've seen. And listen to his bitch. Charlie, they fucked you over, Charlie, letting you simp out. I know you was trying to get some pussy, but all pussy ain't right for you, brother.
My mother raised me and this is why I can relate a lot to the Manhattan mindset of a lot of young women, where it's career oriented.
This is why I can relate to a lot of Manhattan women. I'm in New York. Y'all know I know, but we all know. With the career stuff. Let's go.
Because my mom used to tell me, don't feel like you need to rely on a man.
My mom, I was born and bred to not rely on a man. Charlie fucked my life up, had me marry his ass, and I got to stay at home all the damn time. And I'm relying on a man. Everything my mother told me not to do. Boy, oh boy. Listen, the reason why I don't blame Erika is because she's just like every other bitch that we talk about and that we know. Come on, guys. You don't blame the bitch.
Where it's career oriented. Because my mom used to tell me, don't feel like you need to rely on a man.
Come on. We know a simp. See a simp. We know a simp. We see a simp. We know that nigga Charlie's a simp. My nigga Charlie Kirk. Charlie. They let you get with this wicked ass. Yo, bro.
Wait, if they don't check the boxes, move on and go to the next one. The dating for dating's sake, interview. And no, you're going to laugh. But you should absolutely interview for your spouse. But by the way, if they don't check the boxes, move on and go to the next one. The dating for dating's sake is bad for you. It's bad for them. It's bad for everybody. You should date with the intent to marry. I can say this from a male perspective. One of the problems is that young ladies are led to believe to get male attention, you have to throw yourself out there. I'm going to be very diplomatic, okay? When in reality, men seek what they can't have. And to make yourself harder, I know this might...
Men seek what they can't have. Charlie went after Erika Kirk knowing he can't have it. Guys, when I go through the Charlie files as a professional simp, I get simp alerts all over the place with this dude. This shit is wild.
Men seek what they can't have. And to make yourself harder, I know this might be hard for some of you because you say, no, I want men to like me, I want this. But to make yourself more desirable, you actually have to try to sometimes wall yourself off and have to have men earn the right to be able to date you, that they have to court you. And in the era of hookup culture and quick seeking pleasure, that is very difficult. However, men are wired very differently than women. And one of the most important things that you have to learn is that men do not view, especially sex and relationships, the way that you do, especially young men. Young men do not look at sex a lot of times as, let's say, a culmination of a deep personal and spiritual bond.
Another simp alert. He's thinking that women think sex is a deep personal relationship and bond. Way off base. Way off base. And I actually don't believe that. I think this was one of Charlie's fake speeches because he talks a little different. But once you as a man, once you start getting a little pussy, shit change, man.
A lot of times it's purely physical and it's simple as that. And for a lot of young ladies, they don't quite understand that. They think that the counterpart of the male views it the same way they do. And that
like I said, I have a long series to go here. But a lot of some of the things like him being a virgin or wanting to ask Candace, yo, Candace, what's Charlie's body count? I know it's on one hand. Candace, what's Charlie's body count? Because I believe the nigga's an outright virgin till he got that girl. But if not, it's damn sure on one hand. And I believe Candace knows that nigga body count. So he's trying to talk about sex like, Charlie, how many bitches you fucked in? Come on, man.
That leaves with a lot of brokenness and regret and confusion and torment. And hookup culture has hurt men, but it's really, really hurt women. It has not hurt men nearly as much. And so that's just a general piece of advice. And pray to God. And also, you have to make a decision that in your early 20s, are you going to prioritize career or a husband? And you might say, oh, it's not either or. It's not either or. However, you run the risk as you get into your late 20s and early 30s to all of a sudden say, I can't find the one, I can't find the one. And my hope for you is that you don't have to be in that situation. And so if you prioritize it, if you make it your number one priority, then you obviously dramatically improve your chances.
There you go, guys. That's how simps do. That's how simps do regular niggas. You know what I mean? Talk about how they getting boxed and they in a perfect relationship. But look at who he was in a relationship with. Look how this bitch was born and bred.
Where it's career oriented. Because my mom used to tell me, don't feel like you need to rely on a man for life and work. And so my mindset, my healthy marriage example was my grandparents.
My healthy marriage was the grandparents. Well, if you niggas could tell me what woman's or in the black community, what's the percentage of us who saw the grandparents as a healthy marriage and not our mamas? See, because our mamas and them was Charlie Kirk's, mama and wife's mama and them generation, so to speak, roundabout of all of this, women on the move shit. 70s, 80s, 90s.
Because my mom used to tell me, don't feel like you need to rely on a man for life and work. And so my mindset, my healthy marriage example was my grandparents. But my mindset was career, career, career.
My mindset was career, career, career. Okay? So when Magical Family says that woman was a plant, I agree. Man, I had a homie that was hustling in Virginia from Queens. He was older than me. Nigga got busted because niggas had big bread. They was opening the studio. They put me in this big bread. And this was in the 90s. And he got busted. And the nigga did 5 years. Spent all his money on 5 years. And when he got out, he said, yo, they sent a beautiful Fed bitch. They sent a beautiful Fed undercover to be with him. Fuck him. Do everything. Be his girl. To understand his operation and take the whole thing down. So plants are real on any level. They had a Fed bitch do it all with this nigga. Everything. Just like Erika. Had the babies and everything. And like we said, do you want a bitch that is the manager at Starbucks and goes home? Or do you want a bitch who's a philanthropist, an entrepreneur, real estate license in New York, hang out in the Hamptons, from Arizona but lived in New York for 5 years, has an orphanage in Romania, contacts with the Department of DHS, the Marines, and the government, a master degrees from Liberty University, Arizona State University, Miss Arizona winner of the beauty pageant. Who the fuck marries somebody like that? Who in particular, a nigga like Charlie, a dork? Fuck out of here. Charlie's a fucking simp, and he is to blame for everything. But this series is a lengthy series before you can understand it. That's why I got to break all this stuff down so you need to know where this pussy come from so you can understand why he simp for it.
When I met Charlie, the only reason I sat down with him because I thought it was a consulting position for work. I did not date in Manhattan. I saw the pits of hell of the dating pool.
She did not date in Manhattan. But guess what happened? Matter of fact, let me play it. Fuck it. Let's play ball. She didn't date in Manhattan, but look what she did when Charlie spoke to her. Hold on. Let's play that. Hold on.
This lady popped this.
I was so career-minded. Easy to do when, as a female, when you see from, and the Lord knew I just dating pool through my roommate's position for work. I did not date in Manhattan. I saw the pits of hell of the dating pool through my roommates, and I was not touching that with any longest pole you can imagine.
So I wasn't talking to anybody in Manhattan. And they done broke that down 5 years before Charlie, the bitch, done had other men. I don't care about all of that. I care about her. She is just like we know who they are. Matter of fact, hold on. Where's Dennis at? Where is Dennis? Hold on. Hold on. She is exactly who we thought they were.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were.
And that's all I'm trying to show you. They are who we thought they were. How is she different from any other bitch that we do? Like King Disagreeable said, we didn't know the bitch was part black. Man, they all got the programming. So the question is, why would Charlie be with somebody like that? Who signed off on that shit? They know the nigga was a virgin.
I was basically like his wingman and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika. I was basically like his wingman and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika.
How could you be pro Erika with a resume like that when you wrote a book that says make him a sandwich? Oh, yeah. Yo, how do you do that? Yo, I've been trying to get King Disagreeable to do it, Bernie. I think y'all both could do it, as a matter of fact. How do you do the collaboration thing? Hold on. I got my YouTube open. Hold on. How do you go back? Hold on. I've been trying to tell King Disagreeable we got to do this collaboration thing. How do you do it? I think you got to do it how do you do it? I think you got to do it when you do the details, because I went and looked it up the other day because I wanted to know how to collab. I think you got to do it when you start the stream. Because let me hold on. Just give me 1 second. I could keep speaking though. Hold on. I just want to.
I stayed far away from the dating pool in Manhattan, so I viewed it as obviously the job interview that it was supposed to be, and the Lord knew Charlie, in some way, similar to how, he sees things than a lot of people, in some way beautifully saved me from a huge mistake of putting career over family and career over husband, because it's easy to do when, as a female, when you see bright lights, big city, but the Lord used him. The Lord used him for
How
me.
long did it take you to fall in love with him?
That's the funny thing, is it was.
Remember, guys, this is a long. Bernie, we got to do it the next one. I went back to the edit joint. They won't let you do it on YouTube. They only give you the description. Now, unless I'm missing something. She doesn't answer questions when it comes to Charlie. It's something you. This nigga Bernie done had me fuck up my chat box, B. Hold on, pimp. Yeah, they won't let me do. Hold on, let me do this last edit tab. Because I want to start the collaboration thing up for sure. I want to try that out. All right, let me come out of this screen. All right, now back to Erika. All right, we're back. I think. Yes. Damn, Erika is wow. So we're back. Okay, King Disagreeable. I know how to do it. I know how to do it now. StreamYard ain't been letting you drop the link. Wow. Yeah. So say you do StreamYard, like I'm on Rumble right now. Say you do StreamYard or whatever, right? You also got to go to YouTube. So before you start the live stream, you got to go to YouTube and deal with those settings where they say, hey, do you want to make this a collab? And they're going to send you the link, say to send to me or to Bernie or whoever. And that person will accept the link. And then y'all good. And you could do that with your other channel. Say you got another channel that you may want to run your content simultaneously or, stuff like that. You send yourself the link first before you start. So you send yourself the link first. All right. Yeah, Bernie. So yeah, I'm gonna do another live stream to where I'm gonna have to send you my number so that I can so we can do the stuff ahead of time, okay?
It's so interesting, right?
Now,
This lady pop.
I was so career.
Where we stopped off at was Erika never answering questions about Charlie, for Charlie, or anything. But she does answer questions, dog. This bitch can speak like the best. Listen to this bitch speak. This bitch gets busy. Even if somebody's disrespecting her. Watch this pastor
Build a website you love.
Yo, watch this pastor disrespect Erika Kirk. And she don't care. She know how to speak.
Them to be conservative, but also then to find Christ. It doesn't just end up being conservative. But can you tell us a little bit more about the Falkirk Center? Because you're a fellow there, so... You don't look like a fellow, though. You look like a lady. More about the Falkirk Center, because you're a fellow there, so... You don't look like a fellow, though. You look like a lady.
Look, that's an honest pastor. That's his daughter talking. And the pastor's sitting there right with his daughter, and the daughter's admiring Erika. And that nigga's like, well, you don't look like a fellowship person. You look like a regular bitch to me. Just an honest pastor.
A bit more about the Falkirk Center, because you're a fellow there, so... You don't look like a fellow, though. You look like a lady. Oh my goodness.
I know, right?
I'm embarrassing my daughter with that statement.
That's cute.
No, that's great. No, it's a great question. So Falkirk Center is something that was born out of a desperate need of seeing that we had a lot of secular groups out there that were defending the Constitution, but they weren't doing it through a biblical lens. So
do you see the fluidity in the oration?
That were defending the Constitution, but they weren't doing it through a biblical lens. So that's the great thing about the Falkirk Center, is that we are defending our rights through the biblical lens and biblical doctrine of understanding that our rights come from God, not from government, and understanding too that there's other voices out there that are not only just proclaiming the gospel, but are also understanding and working within different fields of policy and legislation that are making a difference. And so it's been really amazing to be a Falkirk, but even with Falkirk Center.
When do we hear women talk with this much fluidity? When it's shit that they're involved in, that they give a fuck about. Okay? Ain't no damn man. Okay?
Making a difference. The different summits that we've had and the ones that we are going to have are really going to be the bedrock place of a lot of, like I told you when we were off air, really defending and saving the soul of America. And
she's into defending and saving the soul of America. And everything else that I've been telling you. You can't blame Erika for nothing. She's being just like every other woman in America. You don't have to marry that, though. Only simps marry this.
And really understanding and defending how important it is to have the Bible in schools, and how important it is to have the Bible side by side to our ballots and to all the different things in life when it comes to voting and when it comes to even just how we're interacting with people that have opposing opinions. So Falkirk has been, it's not just the white paper think tank. It's bringing together the voices that have a very solid following. But
yeah, Magical Family, you might have to go look at part 1. But I'm gonna do you a good favor right here, and I'm gonna show you something, because I don't want you to think that I want like, you know, I rock with you, so I want you to see the real. I don't want you to be just saying any damn thing. So it's this right here, but I'm looking for part 1. Hold on.
It's bringing together the voices that have
part 1. Hold on, let me just for my homie real quick, Erika. Yeah, part 1. Let me now. Magical Family said pageantry trained her to be quintessential. I heard she CIA. Let you fuck what you heard. Let's go to the real.
Tell my friends and family when they're diseases, and there are some things within the Catholic Church.
Keep that, especially with COVID. All
business plan. So we went from there. I was able to formulate the fact that I wanted to.
Hold on.
We didn't have any family out here.
Here we go.
Let
me show you. Let me break this down for you. This was in part 1.
But we really need that body of Christ that is accountable to be, like you said, activated, so we get spurred up.
This was in the first part of the series, but we don't mind, because I need everybody to understand where the pussy comes from, because y'all know how we do it over here, and how you can easily see how a simp can get caught up in this. And that's why the whole red pill thing and everything came to be about, because men are not protected from these gladiators.
On to love and good deeds, they really go out and not just stay hiding away in their homes, you know. So.
Right.
Amen.
Right. No, for sure. So yeah, it was she's always been God just knew I needed a mother like her.
And so you got your entrepreneur spirit and all that from your mom. And so when did you start Everyday Heroes Like You? And can you share a little bit about Everyday Heroes Like You?
I started that when I was in high school. Again, my mom, we didn't have any family out here. It was just her and I. So
we didn't have any family out here. Her and her mom moved from Ohio to Arizona, and it was just her and her mom.
We would either go serve at soup kitchens, or during the.
Her and her mom would go serve at soup kitchens and all this wild shit. Hold on, I think I'm missing something. Hold on.
Anyways, just growing up, I never understood.
Here we go. Growing up. This is the part. No, I don't think it is, to tell you the truth.
One day, and she would one day.
Here we go.
Endless hours with her company. And
here we go.
And I just this really short. Born in Ohio, raised in Scottsdale, Arizona, but upbringing, especially with regards to faith, was raised Catholic. I came from, my mom was Catholic, everyone was Catholic, and I just, it was interesting growing up. My mom really pushed the importance of prayer.
Not there. Sorry about that.
See, we've been around for a while, but and so for me, that was kind of the spurring moment of like, okay, well, this is how there's problems. And so I went to her and I said, I want to make a difference. And she said,
Fucking magical family got me fucking up. Let's go.
Shirt, or we need school supplies. I found that is
and amazing. It was always also the like Seton Catholic and all the like.
But no, Notre Dame was great. It was nothing that was ever on my radar. I just, I wanted to play professional basketball.
Tomboy.
That was my thing ever since I was 5.
I'll give y'all this. I'll give y'all something else. I can't find what I got, but I got this as a substitute. How she grew up being a tomboy. So all the other stuff that I gave y'all, plus she was a tomboy. How could Charlie marry something like that when he preaches whatever?
Season of life. It was nothing that I was ever groomed for. It was nothing that was ever on my radar. I just, I wanted to play professional basketball.
Tomboy.
That was my thing ever since I was 5. Like that was I wanted to play, and that was all I wanted to do. I was a gym rat, for lack of a better term. And I remember
she was a gym rat, plus everything that I've been telling you. Who the hell marries somebody like that?
Getting something in the mail when I had come home from school one summer, and it was like, hey, you should compete at Miss Arizona USA. Someone nominated you. And I was like, I don't know who would nominate me for that, but okay. So I shared it with my mom, and I was reviewing all the different things that you have to go through. And I thought to myself, if I were to ever win this, the most important thing out of it would be to be able to make a difference with the title. I don't care about the photo shoots. I just want to be able to overbook myself, being able to get involved with the local communities, with the local organizations that are actually making a difference. So the pageant world for me was something that was not a form of narcissism. It was more along the terms of being a steward for my state, especially as it hit our 100th year.
She wants to be a steward for the state.
Celebration. And so I looked at it a little bit differently, and I looked at it more as a branding opportunity rather than
she looked at being Miss Arizona. First of all, she was a fucking tomboy, but she looked at being Miss Arizona as a branding opportunity.
Just being a typical pageant girl. I don't even put it on my resume, to be honest with you. It's something that actually plays against you when you're.
I don't put it on my resume. It plays against you. I don't want men in America thinking I'm some good-looking woman with good pussy. I want these niggas to know I'm a sharp, business-minded gladiator who has multiple degrees, multiple licenses in multiple states, and do philanthropy in multiple countries.
Going in for a job role, or when you're interviewing with someone, because that stigma of a pageant girl is.
When I'm going for a job or getting an interview, does that sound like a man was on her fucking radar?
Is the complete opposite of who I am. So I didn't need to battle with that, and the fact that I'm blonde, and the fact that, I'm from Scottsdale, all these things, I'm just like, forget it. So
wait, would you say the stigma, they tend to think you're not intelligent because you're in a pageant? I mean, what's the stigma? Just that you're blonde, they don't take you seriously?
Like stuck up or...
not taking you seriously, narcissism, just like what, I don't know, just.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account.
Beauty, no
which
brains,
is not you at all, because you are gorgeous. For those who are just listening, not saying gorgeous on the outside. So obviously it makes sense why you won Miss Arizona, but also you are by far the smartest person. Like, I know you are so wise, and the kindest person. So the only thing I know from pageants is miscongeniality, and you also seem pretty tough too. So that's how I'd picture you, because like with your gun strapped to you.
Right.
In soul.
Right. Exactly.
Sing.
Exactly. No, seriously.
And did you, for the swimsuit,
no,
did you wear your gym shorts? So did you? No,
your gun strapped to you.
You hear this pastor taking another shot? You hear the pastor said you don't look like a fellowship person, and then he said, well, did you wear your gym shorts at your beauty pageant? Because this dude he's just being honest. Ma'am, you look tough.
Congeniality, and you also seem pretty tough too. So that's how I'd picture you. It's like with your gun strapped to you.
Right.
In soul.
Right. Exactly.
Sing.
Exactly. No, seriously.
And did you, for the swimsuit,
no,
did you wear your gym shorts? So did you? No,
I would.
Now, ain't that how we talk to gladiators? Put your dick up. Ain't that how we talk to gladiators? Put your dick up.
No, seriously.
And did you, for the swimsuit, did you wear your gym shorts? So did you? No,
Candace let Charlie marry something like this, dog. Candace ain't shit. I'm sorry, guys. She ain't shit. She allowed this shit. The bitch wrote a book, said, yo, make him a sandwich. Does this sound like a sandwich making bitch?
I was basically like his wingman, and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika.
It's funny you say that. I saw a commercial today. Ronda Rousey about to have another fight. She coming out of retirement. First thing came to my mind. I said, "Shit, when you boxing and stuff like that, you could come back out and make some money when times get hard." Remember, Rocky did that. I forgot which Rocky it was. He went and did another fight. Maybe all the Rockies was like that, except the one when he had the big mansion and all that. That might have been the Mr. T shit.
No, seriously.
And did you
seriously.
for the
So, no,
swimsuit? Did you wear your gym shorts? So did you? No, just kidding.
I wish. I wish I could wear my sneakers.
Listen, Bernie.
Swimsuit? Did you?
Exactly. No, seriously.
And did you for the
So,
swimsuit? Did you wear your gym shorts? So did you? No, just kidding.
I wish.
I wish I could have worn my gym suits. I wish. That pageant shit gave her the perfect camouflage. Now you're talking. I remember one of my, I ain't gonna even say it. I think it was my main gladiator. I remember my gladiator, and I believe that all of y'all believe this about me as well. I remember my gladiator said to me, "Damn, man, I wish you'd have went to private school. You would have been a little more polished." I was like, "Damn, bitch." You're smart, but you would have been a little more polished had you went to private school. I said, my God. But I agree with Magical Family. That beauty pageant polished that bitch.
And did you for the
Seriously.
swimsuit? Did you wear your gym shorts? So did you? No, just kidding.
I wish I could wear my sneakers the whole time. I tell you what, for a whole year, you have to be dressed to the tens, basically. And right after my title was up, I was in my sneakers, and I very rarely wear heels. If it just is not me. But
I very rarely wear heels, Magical Family. And Candace signed off on the bitch like this, and now Candace trying to turn on the bitch. No. This woman is every woman that we know. She ain't did nothing wrong to nobody. What has she said wrong that we don't cover? That Candace don't, and Candace and Charlie talk about people like this as a destruction of America. Okay? How is Charlie not to blame for this shit and the people around Charlie? Should have told her pay for etiquette classes. Come on. And then I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be saying bitch this, bitch that, nigga this, nigga that. It wouldn't be me, man. Like, that's the way I see it. I see it as working class people. They go out all day and they deal with these people, and they gotta be fake, and you come home, or you wherever I'm at, I'm just do my thing, and I'm like, bitch, and they like, damn. People don't call them that in the streets. They respect it. So somebody got to keep your ass in reality, right?
You wonder why they call you bitch. You wonder why they call you bitch.
Was in my sneakers, and I very rarely wear heels if it just is not me. But the pageant, some people say, would you do it again? I would. It's interesting though, being a Christian in the pageant world.
All right, I just wanted to show y'all how fluid the woman is. So when Megyn Kelly asked the bitch about Charlie and she can't speak and she's lost for words, oh, ma'am, I've seen you speak with fluidity. Are you kidding me?
This lady popped this man balloon.
I was so career Charlie in some way supposed to be, and the Lord knew. Charlie in some way, similar to how he sees things in a lot of people, in some way beautifully saved me from a huge mistake of putting career over family and career over husband, because it's easy to do when, as a female, when you see bright lights, big city. But the Lord used him. The Lord used him for
How
me.
long did it take you to fall in love with him?
That's the funny thing is it's so interesting because when we were sitting there, I fell in love with how brilliant he was.
Hello? I'm talking to my pimps out here. I'm talking to my pimps out here, man. And all I'm doing is presenting the information to all my players. And these niggas, they know some bitches. You understand? And I'm presenting the bitch. I'm explaining the bitch. We're looking at this story from a Charlie Kirk perspective. And I hadn't heard anybody call Charlie Kirk a simp. Well, I am the prince of simpetry. That man is a simp. Look at his bitch. I'm presenting his bitch to you niggas.
To be able to articulate what he believed in. And when he said, I'm not going to hire you, I'm going to date you, I knew that was the Lord, because there were so many times where I said that my future husband that's out there, he will literally, it will be the only reason why I look up is because the Lord says to look up. And that was something to look up to when someone's like, I'm going to date you.
Remember, guys, she hadn't dated in New York because she wouldn't date in New York forever. But all it took was this dork ass nigga named Charlie Kirk, who has no swag. This bitch been with baseball players and all sorts of shit. Okay? Marines and all sorts of shit. But Charlie Kirk, a damn near virgin, told her, yo, I'ma date you. And she was like, you know what? The heavens lit up. She was like,
come on. With a common denominator.
okay. That's what happened. I mean, we are not looking at Erika at all. She is she's every woman that we know to be. Question is, how the fuck did Charlie? She told you that Charlie said, I'm gonna date you and I'm gonna marry you, and that was it. That's how she fell in love with him. I showed you how she grew up as a tomboy, beauty pageant, and all the other shit. I don't even want to go down. The list is too extensive. And she just happened to fall in love with Charlie Kirk. Let's go back. Let's cook some more. My fault. I ain't even do nothing. I thought I was going to do something in the meantime. I got to go back to this right here. I had it all set up right here. It's all good. Now, let's dissect Charlie and the pussy.
I'm there thinking it's a business interview.
It started that way.
Right. So we sit down and you grill me for what, 3 hours?
Yeah.
Easily. On philosophy, politics,
culture,
religion, culture,
economics.
What else? Everything else you can imagine, he grilled me. Anything he talks about on his podcast show, he grilled me on, pretty much.
Just didn't record it.
And then afterwards, he got finished with his burger and he just sat there and he looked at me and he's like, you know what? I'm not going to hire you. And I was like, that's fine. I don't need this job. I'm doing plenty of.
She said, that's fine. I don't need this job. I'm doing my career thing anyway. You simp ass nigga.
Got finished with his burger and he just sat there and he looked at me and he's like, you know what? I'm not going to hire you. And I was like, that's fine. I don't need this job. I'm doing plenty of other things here in Manhattan. He's like, I'm going to date you. And You want to take it from there?
And you said you were kind of confused.
That's another thing that pisses me off. But I know y'all don't see it as so extreme yet until I could explain the point. I just showed you that she seems to be at a loss for words when she's talking about Charlie and when she's around Charlie. But when she's not around Charlie, the bitch is fluid. I just showed you that.
Of course I was confused.
Now, I was somewhat blunt.
Mm-hmm.
And how'd that make you feel?
Good. I'm there thinking it's a business interview.
It started that way.
Right. So we sit down and you grill me for what, 3 hours?
Yeah.
Easily. On philosophy, politics,
culture,
religion, culture,
economics.
What else? Everything
I'm
else you
rolling
can
up.
imagine.
We
He
cooking,
grilled me.
man.
Anything he talks
Won't
about on his
go nowhere.
podcast
I'm
show, he
rolling up.
grilled me on. Pretty much.
Just didn't record it.
And then afterwards, he got finished with his burger and he just sat there and he looked at me and he's like, you know what? I'm not going to hire you. And I was like, that's fine. I don't
you go
need
nowhere.
this job.
Come on, I got something else for you while I do that. This fucking simp ass nigga think he fooling us.
By the way.
So, hey, nice to officially meet you again. What did you want to talk about? Because it was so just random. And he was like, hey, I'm coming into town into New York City. Let's meet at Bill's Burgers. Mind you, I've lived in Manhattan now for about 5 years. I've never eaten.
She lived in Manhattan for 5 years. She just told Megyn Kelly, I was in New York for 5 years. I didn't date nobody for 5 years. Okay? I wouldn't date anybody with a 10-foot pole, blah, 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 blah. But Charlie.
At Bill's Burgers before. So that I guess was a sign like, let's take an adventure tonight for dinner and go find Bill's Burgers and meet your future husband that you have no idea is about to be your future husband.
And so then we had a great time, and it was about 15 minutes in, I quickly pivoted away from wanting to hire her to wanting to date her.
I quickly pivoted, not knowing the bitch at all, not knowing what her background is, what her family is, none of that. I quickly pivoted from wanting to hire her to wanting to fuck her or date her. Simp. Yo, I gotta go get my tea. This simp ass nigga.
Husband that you have no idea is about to be your future husband.
And so then we had a great time, and it was about 15 minutes in, I quickly pivoted away from wanting to hire her to wanting to date her. And now we know how that worked quite well.
He got there first only because he was coming back from Fox and he kind of beat me there. And I got out of my taxi and we get our table, we sit down and he orders. The thing that I love though is he was so sweet to the waitress. So that was something that I immediately noticed, that he was like really kind to them. And we ordered our food, and then that's when the grilling started happening. Like that's when the interview process started happening. So I'm like, okay, this is a legit interview. Like let's go. I'm glad I had my coffee. Like I'm ready to debate you about Aristotle and Socrates, and you want to talk about theology? Let's do it.
Well, I'd never met anyone quite like her. I remember I called Tyler and I said he's gonna have to find talent somewhere else.
Hey, I think this is where Magical Family came in on. This is one of the key points. This is one of the key points of my whole series, guys. This part right here. Because Candace Owens talks about some guy named Tyler. I don't know if it's McCoy or Robertson. I don't know. But Tyler said, don't date her, Charlie. Okay? So we got two simp moments. Instead of dating her, instead of hiring her, I wanted to date her. That's a simp moment. And then his homie said, Charlie, she's out of your league. And he still didn't listen. Another simp moment. But what Candace do?
I was basically like his wingman and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika.
And whatever opening he thought she would fill, that was not going to work. And Tyler was trying to coach me down because he said that she was way out of my league. He's still right, by the way. And Tyler was trying to coach me down because he said that she was way out of my league. He's still right, by the way. So and Tyler was trying to coach me down because he said that she was way out of my league.
Now, is that a friend? That's a friend. He knows that Charlie is a simp. He's trying to protect him.
He's still right, by the way.
So after we got through literally half of the Constitution, going through why I'm living in New York and how I shouldn't be living in New York, and what my 5-year plan is, what success looks like to me, what I studied in college, why it's like every topic you could imagine that is close to Charlie Kirk's heart is what we discussed and went through. When it was like 3.5 hours, and they were starting to close up, and he was finished with his burger, just sat there, and I'm like looking around, like, okay, did I get the job? Like, what's going on?
She was worried about, did she get the job? Charlie Kirk grilled this bitch because he did the same thing Anton be doing, right? Yo, these niggas are crazy, man.
Burger, just sat there, and I'm like,
she's like, yo, homie, you sat me here for 3 hours. I'm getting this job, right?
Looking around, like, okay, did I get the job? Like, what's going on? I don't need the job, but did I get it? What's going on? And he goes, you know, I'm not gonna hire you.
This is a different video where she said she didn't need that job. She don't need you, Charlie. You simp ass nigga.
I don't need the job, but did I get it? What's going on? And he goes, you know, I'm not gonna hire you. It's like, okay, well, thank goodness I didn't need the job because I'm already doing stuff here in Manhattan. He goes, I'm gonna date you. And I kind of just I froze. I mean, wouldn't you? I literally I was just like, okay, was not expecting this at all. And I was like, do you want to how about we just be friends first? Like, see where it goes.
And I told her I had enough friends and that I didn't want to be friends with her. So that was kind of a non-starter. But if she wanted to date, that would be great. I had enough friends. And I think she still finds that to be very funny, but I meant it.
And without hesitation and like zero hesitation, he goes, I have enough friends in my life. So either we're going to date or we're not. Do I have any time to think about it? Yeah, you have until tomorrow night when I take you out for dinner. And then you can give me your answer at dinner tomorrow night. But know that the offer's on the table and I want to date you. Okay. So then afterwards, it was like, thank you for this meeting. I need to go walk home now so I can process what happened. And I literally remember walking home from like 54th and 5th all the way to 30th and Madison to just kind of process what just happened. And I remember calling my mom. I was like, hey, she's like, hey, how are you? What's going on? How did it go? And I was like, well, I didn't get the job. She's like, oh, that's okay. I was like, but I got a boyfriend. And she's like,
hey, yo, y'all see how Candace be pulling other people's videos up that either talk shit about her or help her out or whatever the case is? She ain't gonna pull up this hood shit because ain't nobody saying how Charlie's a fucking simp and have the evidence to fucking prove it. And not only do we have the evidence to prove that he's an outright fucking simp, Candace, you co-sign this bitch.
I was basically like his wingman and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika. I was basically like his wingman and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika.
You enjoy being a man's wingman as a woman. That is a simp, Candace. A man that has a woman as a wingman is a simp, Candace. Fuck are you doing? Making Charlie look like the simp of the year. Because you damn sure gave me simp alerts all over the place. And now that I get into the research, I'm like, well, hold on. This story is a simp love story.
oh, that's nice.
This bitch says she ain't dated in 5 years. She couldn't give a fuck. And she dated a nigga like this? What? Who the fuck co-signed that? The dude Tyler said, yo, Charlie, she's out of your league. Oh, you don't listen to your homies now. But you tell men what to do and how to be with women. Charlie, you are a simp, my nigga. Let me tell you something.
The first date ended, if I remember correctly, just telling her I need to see her again very soon, I believe Saturday. And then I guess our second date was a basketball date. And then that was a very fun night, long night. And then I said,
oh, Magical Family. Oh, see, I didn't watch this whole video. Oh, Magical Family. Their second date was a basketball date. What did I teach you niggas? She was a basketball star. Oh.
Also, you are by far the smartest person.
In terms of being a steward for my state. I think there was a ton of Tucson Classic.
Yeah, it was at a
tournaments, I think,
Tucson Classic at our place.
So you guys might have played each other? No,
we probably played each other.
Probably.
You guys have to play
Maybe a
again.
little different.
We'll see Tucson against Phoenix.
2015, so
Right, exactly.
we'll have to follow it up. You beat me, but I was a point guard, so
No.
I'm not a point guard. Post.
No.
But so,
Whoa. What's that? I just went to budgeting
their
after phase
second date
44.
was a basketball date.
Nina just built.
I heard Candace say somebody said Charlie liked to play basketball.
You ended up playing basketball in college, NCAA, so you're pretty good.
She was playing basketball in the NCAA way before she met Charlie. And their second date was a basketball date. This bitch is good. Wow. This bitch is good, pimpin'.
Telling her I need to see her again very soon, I believe Saturday. And then I guess our second date was a basketball date. And then that was a very fun night, long night. And then I said,
she gave Charlie to work on the ball court. She is not, he thought she was just some pretty face. Nah, this bitch played for the NCAA. Yo, did this simp nigga get turned out? Did this simp nigga get turned out or what?
Was a basketball date. And then that was a very fun night, long.
Is the Prince simp showing you what a simp is? The way that you learn what a simp is not the actions that you see in the present or the future. No, where does the pussy come from? In the black community, you already know, so you know a nigga that's doing that is basically a simp, is basically stapled in stone or whatever. But when you see just all the simp behaviors, this is just imagine Charlie was a black dude, you know? It's all the same simp behavior, dog.
Long night. And then I said, hey, do you want to go to Hawaii tomorrow?
After he met the bitch, now she knows who Charlie is, okay? She done did her research.
And because I was going anyway. And
she was meeting Charlie for an interview. You see? So she know he's a baller. He don't know shit about her. That's another simp thing.
Second date was a basketball date. And then that was a very fun night, long night. And then I said, hey, do you want to go to Hawaii tomorrow? And because I was going anyway. And she said, sure. And so I bought her ticket and she accompanied all of us to Hawaii. And Josh was there and Sarah was there and we had a great time.
God knew I literally needed someone to smack me up beside the head being like, I'm not playing games. I'm not going to play with your heart. I'm a loyal person. I'm a good person. I'm a God-fearing person. I want to date you. I have zero tricks up my sleeve. And he just knew that I needed someone like that. And he
simp. She identified a simp that she could call her own.
Literally was like, here's Charlie. And it was just, I think it took me by such surprise in my mind.
Bernie said, what you mean where the box come from? I just showed you how the woman grew up. I just showed you how she told you her mother taught her how to be career and don't depend on a man. That's where the box comes from. You already know that the sisters in the community are programmed the same way. But they can't achieve like Erika because she puts God first. She's good.
My heart, I was like, no, this is, let's do this.
What was it like dating Erika? Oh, very fun. I mean, she's incredibly loyal, a great sport about traveling and about always having my back. You know, those people that know me, they, you know, I sit around most times and don't do much and adverse to traveling, very shy, trying to find my purpose in life. So she was obviously very helpful at fixing all those things.
I truly feel as if every piece of my life prepared me to date him and eventually obviously marry him, but to piece of my life.
Very helpful at fixing all those things.
I truly feel as if every piece of my life prepared me to date him and eventually obviously marry him, but to date him. And I say that because ever since I was little and even after college and adult years, I traveled all the time. And I was used to living out of a suitcase. I was used to a very unconventional schedule. I was used to the entrepreneur mindset and just in the mode of building and building and building. And so I got him. I understood that. I understood his sporadic schedule because mine was just as sporadic. And I understood the sleepless nights and I understood like having to make the time for someone. It's not just, it doesn't just come to you. You have to work at it. You have to invest into it. And so dating each other, it was, I loved it. I mean, we got to know each other. I tell you what, you learn something about someone a lot more quickly by traveling with them than you do just seeing them on a weekend for just a getaway. When you travel with someone and you have to go through TSA and you have to go through all the different airports and you have to deal with hotel rooms not being ready and car rentals not working out and missing your flight and every logistic you can imagine, because you see every flavor of someone's humanity. And we just, God literally made us for each other.
She was always such a great sport with all the chaos that is my life, and Turning Point USA, and my biggest fan and my biggest cheerleader, and always being just so full of grace and wanted to see me succeed.
So in November, I was scheduling my photo shoot for Proclaim Streetwear because we were relaunching. And Charlie he's so smart, but he's even smarter that day because he worked a deal with the photographer that apparently that was the day. I had no idea. All I knew is that in the morning, I get a message saying, hey, while you're doing your shoot for Proclaim, I would love.
All right. I just wanted to show y'all a little simp behavior. Let's move on. Hold on. Let's move on really quick. It's going to be a long series, though, guys. I'm not playing. Yeah. I'm going to show you how a simp is a damn simp. You know we don't play like that. A simp is a damn simp no matter which way you cut it. Candace won't call Charlie a simp. This shit is crazy. Candace, the nigga's a simp. I mean, come on. Fuck.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of The Charlie Kirk Show. I'm engaged. Would you like to introduce yourself, or should I introduce you? How would you like me to start? All right, we'll try it again. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of The Charlie Kirk Show. Joining me is the most special guest, my fiance, Erika. Welcome to The Charlie Kirk Show.
Okay. So you started Turning Point 2012, right? So Trump's first rally in Arizona was when? And it was
the summer of 15.
Summer of 15. So I went with my mom. I was a Trump fan.
To a Trump rally.
His first one. And Tyler was there.
Tyler Boyer.
Yes, he was there.
Tyler Boyer. That's the nigga name. Tyler Boyer. He's the one that told Charlie, don't do it. And he was with Erika at the, I guess, Trump rally in 2015. Guys, this is a simp story.
To a Trump rally. Summer of 15. So I went with my mom. I was a Trump fan.
To a Trump rally.
His first one. And
yo, we cooking Candace Owens' ass, B. Candace ain't gonna review this shit. Charlie Kirk is a simp. It takes one to know one. I am the expert, and so are my players.
And Tyler was there.
Tyler Boyer.
Yes, he was there with his wife, his beautiful wife, and his kids. And he came up to me afterwards, and he was like, hey, we have this organization, and we're...
Tyler Boyer knew Erika in 2015, before Charlie. Charlie started Turning Point in 2012. So when Magical Family says she's a plant, hello? But Tyler still tried to protect them. Or did he? In this series, you'll start to understand, no, Tyler didn't try to protect him. Tyler knew Charlie was thirsty. That's what gives me the idea that Charlie's a fucking virgin. Damn sure ain't got no body count past his hand.
And he came up to me afterwards and he was like, hey, we have this organization and we're starting in Arizona. I would love for you to be a part of it. And it was one of those things where everything he said sounded super exciting, but I was getting ready to move to New York. And that was a season of life that I really prayed about. And it was something I needed to move on towards. And so I said, thank you for all the information, but I am moving to Manhattan. And I was like, stay in touch. And we didn't really stay in touch all that much. And then I went to Israel and what you're...
She went to Israel. Israel. Why did Kirk and Candace fall out? Because of Israel. Or was it? See, we're looking at this whole thing from a simp perspective. Now, clearly, Candace is saying something about Israel and Charlie Kirk. We'll get into that because I don't really know shit about it. But if Erika went to Israel in 2015 or whatever the case is, the pussy is a bigger influence for him to exile Candace than damn Israel. You see what I'm saying?
And so I said, thank you for all the information, but I am moving to Manhattan. And I was like, stay in touch. And we didn't really stay in touch all that much. And then I went to Israel. And what year was that?
I didn't even know that. How can we do this? She comes from a single mother who has ties with the government, DHS, in the Marines. She played basketball all her high school year, so good in basketball that she made it to the NCAA. She won the Miss Arizona beauty pageant. She started a fellowship from when she was in high school and started doing philanthropy work when she got to college, where she got a master's degree from Arizona State, a double major over there at Liberty University, and some sort of church degree. Okay. She also does philanthropy, whatever. She does Peace Corps work in Romania for orphanages. She has real estate license in New York City. Because remember, she just said because God told her that after the Trump rally, she went to New York. She got her New York real estate license, and she was in the Hamptons and doing all that other stuff. Okay. And what else she did? She went to Israel. Who the fuck marries who the fuck marries somebody like that? A simp.
For all the information, but I am moving to Manhattan. And I was like, stay in touch. And we didn't really stay in touch all that much. And then I went to Israel. And what year was that?
That was
2 years
2000. And we went to Bill's Burgers in New York. Best burgers.
Oh my gosh. So then, do you want to tell that part?
You can tell them. They hear enough of me. All they hear is me.
Okay, so we get to Bill's Burgers, and I'm there thinking it's a business interview.
It started that way.
Right. So we sit down, and you grill me for what, 3 hours? Easily. On philosophy, politics, religion, culture, economics, what else? Everything else you can imagine, he grilled me. Anything he talks about on his podcast show, he grilled me on, pretty much.
Just like I'm grilling y'all with this information. You're going to know that Charlie's a simp before I get done with you. Let's go.
Just didn't record.
And then afterwards, he got finished with his burger, and he just sat there, and he looked at me, and he's like, you know what? I'm not going to hire you. I was like, that's fine. I don't need this job. I'm doing plenty of other things here in Manhattan. He's like, I'm going to date you. And you want to take it from there? I'm a strong female, and you know that. But I also, and I have full respect for other alpha females out there, but there is a time to...
I have full respect for alpha females out there. Talk to... Who approved this shit?
I was basically like his wingman and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika.
Who approved this shit? I would never approve my nigga to marry something like this. That nigga would have to sneak off on an island somewhere. I'd be like, bro, you know you can't marry that woman, son. You should be happy that you getting some of that ass. You a fucking dork. But brothers don't talk to each other honest anymore. You know? Charlie. But you can't say nobody ain't tell him. Tyler, whatever this nigga name is, Tyler McCoy said, Charlie, she's out of your league. But he said it knowing that Charlie wouldn't listen. That's what makes her a plant.
I was like, that's fine. I don't need this job. I'm doing plenty of other things here in Manhattan. He's like, I'm going to date you. And you want to take it from there? I'm a strong female, and you know that. But I also, and I have full respect for other alpha females out there, but there is a time and a place to be an alpha female. And when you're in a relationship, you are not in competition with your other half. And you're not in competition with them from the standpoint of who's in charge.
So how do you talk to boss babes out there? They're like, I'm never gonna be able to find a man.
They need to, first of all, humility is huge in that standpoint. But second of all, the whole boss babe culture is so toxic. It's so toxic. And it even talks about in scripture how 2 oxen can carry a heavier load. You cannot do it all by yourself. And for women out there who think they don't need a man or don't think they need someone to help them pursue further in life or to have a more complete fulfillment of themselves, it's.
What did Magical Family say? He said that beauty pageant polished her to know the right thing to say. Now that she's married, look how she talks down on the boss babes.
You cannot do it all by yourself. And for women out there who think they don't need a man or don't think they need someone to help them pursue further in life or to have a more complete fulfillment of themselves, it's. I have seen it firsthand living in Manhattan, where women who are in their late 30s, early 40s, their life was their career, and there's nothing wrong with that, because my mom was a career-oriented woman and
Nothing wrong with that. My mom was a career-oriented woman. I made it once Mike McCoy, Tyler McCoy showed that he had this simp ass nigga Charlie that would go after me. I knew I had a sucker that I could play.
Early 40s, their life was their career, and there's nothing wrong with that, because my mom was a career-oriented woman and career-oriented mom. But you sacrifice a lot of things, and then by the time you're in your 40s, you're bitter, you're frustrated.
Let me ask you a question, Erika. Your mother is just like every mother in the black community, for the most part. We don't mind you breaking up with your first marriage, but what as a person made your mother that bad that she couldn't get another man in there if she had all these government and Marine good men around? Well, it was her choice, Prince.
And career-oriented mom. But you sacrifice a lot of things, and then by the time you're in your 40s, you're bitter, you're frustrated, you feel like you missed out, and you feel like you are behind the curve, and then you just are, tainted. Our God is a God of order, and there's a reason why there's a husband and a wife, and there's a reason why there's a family, and there's a reason why there's certain things you're supposed to do beforehand before you get married, and there are things that you're not supposed to do before you get married, which is saved for marriage itself. And I think that goes for dating too. You're not supposed to treat your boyfriend or your girlfriend like your fiance or like your husband. You set boundaries, and you really are able to then say, okay, he is in charge of XYZ in our relationship, I'm in charge of the other side of that. And I know that a lot of women who are strong, they're very strong personality.
I know a lot of women that are strong. So does every other woman in America. They're all programmed just like you, Erika. But with that being said, Candace is pointing at the wrong person. Erika is an all-American woman. She ain't just American. She's an all-American. The question is, why would Charlie do that? Why couldn't Charlie get a basic woman? That's the question. There is no reason why he couldn't. But he's just a fucking simp, Candace. And you co-sign this shit.
Females, you have to also give your other half, your counterpart, your male companion, the respect they deserve.
For young people out there, if you want to find meaning, find something worth taking responsibility for.
So, but it's been a fun journey.
It's just getting started.
Yeah, grateful for you.
Thanks for joining me, Charlie.
Look at this simp. Let's turn the volume off. Look at this simp. Look. Who's the dominant factor here? Who looks more alpha? See, we're breaking this down from a Charlie perspective. See, you can only get caught up in this mix on your own account, and that's even after people told you don't do it. That makes you an ultra simp. People had your best interest, brother. Let that woman be.
She knows I love it. I love you.
This nigga here. Hey, yo, this nigga crazy. Yo, bro. Woo, Charlie. You cannot let a bitch do you like that, homie. Oh, shit. You can't let nobody do you like that, pimpin'. Wow. 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 This dude.
And they're finding it hard to find a mate.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're saying traditionally speaking, like the women who don't have kids are more left leaning because they choose not to have kids, that's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
Whole different
They
topic.
consider kids to being
A nuisance,
a burden.
a nuisance. But no, it's made. And but also too, you have to understand, and that also goes back to how'd you know it was time to get married? Understanding your biblical role as a wife and a mother, and knowing that you're ready to step into that motherhood, that being a wife, and that type of era of your life, if you will. So.
Here's a good one. What traits should conservative women be looking for in men and vice versa?
What traits should conservative women like you, Erika, should be looking for in men?
Here's a good one. What traits should conservative women be looking for in men and vice versa?
Could you help the women out, Erika?
Ooh. I know one of the questions deals with, do you want to, I was going to go off one of the questions that talked about the apps, but I think women for looking for their future spouse needs to hone in on the fact, is he going to lead you closer to Christ or further away? Make sure you're equally yoked. That's so important. Make sure that you are not looking for a man who, or, you know, the men that are just, they're grabbing the low hanging fruit, meaning on the apps. Women get upset when they go on a date with a guy they found on an app and all of a sudden they ghost them.
Dating means fucking. Dating means fucking.
Meaning on the apps. Women get upset when they go on a date with a guy they found on an app and all of a sudden they ghost them, or all of a sudden they're just not communicating with them anymore. To me, it's because the guy didn't have to hunt for them. Not saying they have to hunt for a woman, but they do have to seek out a wife. And since they didn't have to, they made it so easy on an app to just press a button. It's just a number in their head. Like, you want to be so much more than, I'm not saying apps are bad. I mean, they're not the greatest thing. I've had friends who did find their significant other on an app, but the likely.
Name them. Name them, bitch. Name them. You lying bitch.
Apps are bad. I mean, they're not the greatest thing. I've had friends who did find their significant other on an app, but the likelihood, it's like the lottery. The likelihood of you finding your future husband or wife on an app is a lot less likely to happen. So that to say, I'm so
What
blessed.
traits?
It's so hard because
You heard that? Charlie said, what traits? Ma'am, what are you talking about? When you get around Charlie, you don't know how to talk. And that's what most women do, Erika. I have you know that. You might not know that, but most women, when they get around men, they try to act like they don't know which way to go on the highway, all sort of stupid shit. You just like a basic bitch to me. But you look good to the people in America because nobody wants to identify Charlie Kirk as a simp, sucker ass nigga. And Candace co-signed that shit.
I was basically like his wingman and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika. I was basically like his wingman and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika.
Now you trying to turn on Erika. Charlie is the one that turned on you for the bitch.
because I literally won the jackpot with my husband.
And that's what your monkey black ass get trying to be a friend. That's what your monkey ass get. That white boy turned on you, bitch. Bet you won't review this video. But you let Charlie simp out. Blood is on your hands, bitch. He came to you and said, what you think about her?
I was basically like his wingman and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika. I was basically like his wingman and very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika.
Versa.
That's
likewise.
really hard.
I will say women should look for men that have  and men should look for women that.
So she ain't answered the question. She ain't answered the question, dog. Okay? And what do a simp do? He answers for the bitch. What do I teach you niggas to do? Never answer. Let that person answer. You wait it out. You sit there.
That are willing to submit, which is basically a non-feminist woman.
Right.
So Candace, look. In the real world with us real men, we don't do this clown shit. Okay, Charlie got more money than us. So what? When it comes to man versus pussy, nah, we don't play like that. We stay as a man. I asked you a question, you answer or say you don't want to answer. You don't give me to run around. You a fucking simp, Charlie.
But the whole topic of submission becomes, that word really lights people on fire.
I don't. It's but that are willing to submit, which is basically a non-feminist woman.
Right. But the whole topic of submission becomes, that word really lights people on fire.
I don't. It's biblical.
I know.
I mean, women.
It's beautiful.
wives-
Marriage in the right context is so beautiful because
Marriage in the right context is so beautiful. What the fuck does that mean? If the real world is opposites attract, what the fuck are you talking about? See, this is what happened to America when you got these bitches talking. And you got simping. They'll try to reverse what the shit really is. Charlie needed someone that's opposite of him. Why, Prince? Why? Because you'll learn in this series that, well, as you have learned so far, that Erika life was on the move. Charlie sat her down by putting babies on her and making her stay home. From what we've learned thus far, that's not her life.
your husband will give up anything and everything for you in a healthy manner.
This is another thing you're going to learn. Because by the matter of fact, I'll see if you guys remember this by the end of the series. My ultimate thought process out of all of this, the death of Charlie Kirk. We'll see if you remember this by the end of the series. My ultimate thought is placing Charlie as the simp through my expertise and research. Charlie did this for his family. Charlie did this for his family. Now that I see that this man is a full-fledged simp, he did this for his family, man. It's never gonna be anybody to blame but whoever the fuck they placed there. But he did this for his family, man. The man's an all-out simp, you know?
Context is so beautiful because your husband will give up anything and everything for you in a healthy manner, but they will literally.
It's biblical.
I know.
I mean, women.
It's beautiful.
wives-
Marriage in the right context is so beautiful because your husband will give up anything and everything for you in a healthy manner, but they will literally love you and honor you and cherish you above all, and put all the noise aside and focus on wife, children, family.
Daisy says there were quite a number of questions on submission, so
Okay.
dive more into that.
Okay. For me as a wife, my biblical role is to be the helpmate to my husband.
It's not her life. Not her life, man. She's a bigger star than Charlie. Nobody wants to hear it.
That does not mean I'm less than you. That does not mean that I am above you. Thank goodness. I love that you lead our home. I love that you are you are so intentional with your faith, and you are so intentional with just how you are as a father and a husband. But as a wife, I am to, quote unquote, submit to you, which is a beautiful word.
What? Yo, she sound like the Mika girl. I can't get too loud. My gladiator sleep. She sound like the Mika girl.
But as a wife, I am to, quote unquote, submit to you, which is a beautiful word. But as a wife, I am to, quote unquote, submit to you, which is a beautiful word. But as a wife, I am to, quote unquote, submit to you, which is
wow. Yo, this is all from a simp perspective, man. This is all from a simp perspective. Yo, son. Charlie's a millionaire. His wife told him to his face, I'm supposed to quote unquote submit to you. What? Wow. And you can't, and guess what Charlie can't say? Guess what Charlie can't say? Watch this. Guess what Charlie can't say?
Bitch, please. Get down on your goddamn knees.
He can't say, bitch, please.
Bitch, please. Get down on your goddamn knees. Bitch, please.
Or as a father and a husband, but as a wife, I am to quote unquote submit to you, which is a beautiful word, by the way.
Wow. Wow. Did you see the way she cleaned it up? Which is a beautiful, which is a beautiful word, by the way. By the way, ma'am, I'm standing right here. Wow.
But as a wife, I am to quote unquote submit to you, which is a beautiful word, by the way, because that's the order of how it's supposed to go. And God will bless that.
Wow. Charlie is in too deep. Can I get an amen? My God, can anybody amen that Charlie is in too deep?
Can I get an amen?
Shit. Bro, this is his wife.
I am not to try and rival you. We're on the same team. We complement each other. The body, an eye is supposed to be an eye to see. It's not, you can't expect an ear to see. There's certain things within the body that operate how it's supposed to be, similar to marriage. I am the wife. I am in charge of certain things, guardian of the home, helping with the children, that is so I can make it easy for my husband to do what he needs to do. There's a balance there. It's not, and then you get into the people who are saying, well, my husband's abusive. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the beautiful.
Who talks about abuse when they used to call Kevin Samuels? Who talks about abuse when it comes about the worst in men?
There, it's not, and then you get into the people who are saying, well, my husband's abusive. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the beautiful sacred marriage of when you are at the altar, you become one with your spouse. And the problem is that I feel as if someone.
Yo, Bernie, I hope you working or something like that, because I'm cooking, baby. Because what I'm doing is I'm trying to record this whole series of this dude being a simp. And then I'm gonna break it down. You know what I'm saying? So we got plenty for your channel coming up. Let's go.
Women, after they had children, they lose that fire that they got at the altar, that fiery spirit of this is the man I've been praying for. And they get burned out because of the kids or because of circumstances. And then it's like, oh, submitting to my husband, that sounds exhausting. It's supposed to be liberating. It's supposed to be freeing. You are in charge of what you're in charge of. Your husband's in charge of what he's in charge of. And it's supposed to be a beautiful marriage of a teamwork and symbolic within biblical marriage and symbolic within how God and Jesus and everything, just your whole faith is supposed to operate. So submission's a beautiful,
it says submit thing. As Christ submitted, that submit to your husbands as, I have to look at the exact verse. But,
well, husbands, yeah.
Oh, husbands submit to
Ephesians
Christ,
5.
Yeah.
Ephesians 5. She knows the Bible back and forth. She got a podcast that she says they're going to read the Bible in 1 year together, and a lot of bitches be subscribed over there. And she's a big time star, bro. You know?
I mean, I've never found obviously any problem with it, but do you think that most women struggle with it? Here it is. Yes, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ.
Mm-hmm.
This submits that both husband and wives are called to serve and prioritize each other's needs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that most women struggle with it because of a kind of feminist mentality that has seeped in?
Yeah.
Good question, Charlie. Let's cook, Charlie.
With it because of a kind of feminist mentality that has seeped in?
Yeah, because I feel as if Christianity in itself has become semi-feminized from the standpoint of, I know we've talked about this before, the Pinterest Christianity with the little flowers all over the beautiful scripted font and like making the Bible feminine, and it's not. It's a beautiful not even a story. I mean, it is a story, but it's a beautiful book on how to live your life, and it has nothing to do with being feminine or being masculine. It's all about Jesus. It's all about God. It always leads you back to God and always leads you back to how you're supposed to live your life biblically. But yeah, women, I think, are offended by that because they feel as if it makes them lesser than they are, which it makes them feel like they don't have the choice or the voice that they need to have in order to be quote unquote liberated. But that's the exact opposite. When you're in a biblical marriage, you are supported and you're loved, and your viewpoint is just as important.
In the streets and regular relationships and anywhere, men always say simps mess it up for everybody else. They fuck the game up for everybody else. And this is what Charlie and Erika is doing. You know, they like Erika has a fucking simp and she get to talk all this shit about her marriage, knowing that women ain't gonna get a simp like this. But yes, they can. But she won't say, look, get a dork like I have in Charlie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. You know? Because she knows what she has. She's planted there. But they all have a problem. They won't call Charlie Kirk a simp, a man who should not be caught dead marrying a beauty pageant, whatever you call it. The winner of the beauty pageant. That man need a regular woman.
But you have to let your husband lead.
Do you hear a lot of struggle with that topic of submission from women you talk to?
Yes and no. Yes, from the women who are not strong Christians, who are just more of.
She hear a lot of feminism of women who are not strong Christians. Now that's a fucked up thing to say, Erika. So you're not a nice woman. That's fucked up.
Of submission from women you talk to?
Yes and no. Yes, from the women who are not strong Christians, who are.
How the hell do you determine that?
Yes and no. Yes, from the women who are not strong Christians, who are just more of in the world trying to figure out and navigate their marriage based on that standpoint. But I think it goes back to what you were saying. The men need to be prepared to take on that role. That's
Oh shit. What was the question? How did the men come in this? Hold on.
But you have to let your husband lead.
Do you hear a lot of struggle with that topic of submission from women you talk to?
Now this is about the women.
Yes and no. Yes, from the women who are not strong Christians, who are just more of in the world trying to figure out and navigate their marriage based on that standpoint. But I think it goes back to what you were saying. The men need to be prepared to take on that role. That's not a light role to carry,
No, I
being
agree
the
with that.
leader of the home. So I think what happens is men who aren't prepared for that season of life, they leave the metaphorical pants on the ground. And so the women come in and put those pants on because they feel like I have to be this role, I have to play this role, and I need to be the provider, or I need to, and also too, I think mom guilt falls into it too, of like, I'm not providing for my family. If they worked in the workforce prior and now they're a stay-at-home mom, which is a huge blessing to have that opportunity to raise your babies like that. I think that they feel as if they're comparing their season to other people's. And so that's where I think, you get the moms and wives that are not wanting to submit. But I think the husband needs to always be in a position of understanding his biblical role as well, for that to all, mesh together. And even if the husband understands it and reminds his wife, or the wife reminds the husband, like, let's pray together, let's recenter our relationship and marriage to make it healthy and Christ-centered. It's important.
You pick one.
Okay.
I could also talk about more of what women should be looking for or men should be looking for in women, but
You can.
we kind of talked about that though. Yeah.
I know. What traits are considered? What should be?
This is one from that someone just emailed us in, freedom@charliekirk.com.
Let me show you something that makes me furious every time I see it. This is a real tax return from someone making $284,900.
Oh, really?
Erika, do you ever get hate from Charlie's work? How do you handle it? Charlie, do you ever
feel guilt, or do you ever deal with guilt when Erika gets hate? No, I don't.
I honestly, this is this is how I know God made us for each other, because anytime I do get quote unquote hate, it's the same stuff you get. Like I don't even want to say, it's not even worth saying it or repeating the things that were called or the names that were called. But yes, I do. I've lost family members, I've lost friends, but I actually am kind of grateful that that's happened, because God has pruned my life in a way where I am surrounded in a circle now by people who love us, support us, pray with us, encourage
It's a
us.
small, mighty circle.
And that's what I would much rather have, a small, mighty circle than a massive one. It's the people that, you know, that you can trust and pour into. And yes, do I get hate?
Well, I guess that didn't work out for Erika, because she has a mighty circle now. Now that Charlie's gone, she's not limited to a small circle. She has President Trump, J.D. Vance, Megyn Kelly, all the youngsters. She has the hearts of all the youngsters. Tucker Carlson, allies, Jesse Waters, just everybody. She has a mighty circle now. And if you go back to part 1 in the beginning of this episode, you'll realize she was born and bred to have a mighty circle. She was international with the Marines, donating to orphanages in Romania, traveling to Israel before Charlie. She was born and bred to be a boss babe and have a massive following, just not on OnlyFans or anything like that, through the Bible. She wanted to go the other way. How they put this Charlie thing together is amazing. Charlie looks like a dude that will get a regular woman. But guess what? Just like Umar Johnson, a regular woman was too good for him. He needed a damn Miss Arizona. And a woman who is, in my opinion, greater than him.
Bring it on.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have a velvet steel spine by the end of my life. So bring it on. I have nothing to fear.
Listen.
Steel spine. Bring it on.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have a to pour into. And yes, do I get hate? Bring it on.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have a velvet steel spine by the end of my life. So
Candace, now you could tell your followers why Erika don't seem to be so brokenhearted, because she said she was going to have a spine of steel, and nothing would be able to bother her. Now that is what Charlie did help her with.
Have a velvet steel spine by the end of my life. So bring it on. I have nothing to fear.
Yeah, I mean, look, we get a lot of hate, we get a lot of death threats, but just part of life. It makes you stronger.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, look, we get a lot of hate, we get a lot of death threats, but just part of life. It makes you stronger.
Right.
And, yeah, I mean, look, we get a lot of hate, we get a lot of death threats, but just part of life. It makes you stronger.
Right.
And
that's why I told y'all, if y'all remember, by the end of this series, you will realize that Charlie realized that he got in too deep with this pussy. He's a simp. And he did that for his wife and his family. He really loved that woman, man. You know? He still can't believe that he had a woman that won a beauty pageant. You know? Charlie's a good man. He did it for his family, man. You know?
yeah, I mean, look, we get a lot of hate, we get a lot of death threats, but just part of life. It makes you stronger.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, look, we get a lot of hate, we get a lot of death threats, but just part of life.
See what I'm saying, dog? See what I'm saying? It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Like, the reason why sorry, I don't want to break down because the man died. But the reason why we're even here is because Candace kept when I watch Candace Owens, she keep making Charlie appear like a fucking simp. I'm like, damn, every time I watch this Candace, I'm Prince Simp, and all I hear is simp behavior. So I started doing a little research, and look at this shit. The man was getting death threats. I don't know shit about no damn Charlie Kirk. But now I'm learning he was getting death threats because I'm just breaking it down from a simp behavior perspective, and I see that he's head over heels for this bitch. And if you ask me, he did it for his family, man. He did that for that bitch, B. He really loved that bitch, man.
Get on. I have nothing to fear.
Yeah, I mean, look, we get a lot of hate, we get a lot of death threats, but just part of life. It makes you stronger.
Right.
And honestly, if you are out there and you aren't getting a lot of hate, then
what are you doing?
Well, yeah, you're not doing anything that bothers Satan.
Exactly.
You're just being boring. You're probably honestly doing the bidding of the enemy.
Right. So. No, it's true.
Okay, let's see. emailstream@charliekirk.com. Lots of questions coming in from you guys. You want to do the dating app thing?
Now, I'll give Candace that. Candace, if you watch this video, look what Charlie tried to help you to say. Charlie trying to help you, Candace. Listen.
You're probably honestly doing the bidding.
What are you doing?
Well, yeah, you're not doing anything that bothers Satan.
Exactly.
You're just being boring. You're probably honestly doing the bidding of the enemy.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I mean, look, we get a lot of hate, we get a lot of death threats, but just part of life. It makes you stronger.
Right.
And honestly, if you are out there and you aren't getting a lot of hate, then
what are you doing?
Well, yeah, you're not doing anything that bothers Satan.
Exactly.
You're just being boring. You're probably honestly doing the bidding of the enemy.
Right.
So Candace, if you getting some death threats, Charlie's letting you know you on the right track. I'm letting you know it's not no damn Erika though. Erika is just an all-American woman.
No, it's true.
Okay, let's see. emailstream@charliekirk.com. Lots of questions coming in from you guys. You want to do the dating app thing?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of touched on it. Yes and no. I used to have stronger ones, but I don't think as many people are on them anymore.
Difference than like dating apps and like dating services? Are those two different?
I hear dating services are awful. I hear that the ones that are out there.
Prager is very pro like dating apps and services. He always was.
I mean,
his thought is more options the better.
Yeah, but how lazy does that make the man to be able to be? They're presented a binder of women, and they're like
a Mitt Romney binder full of women.
Do you want a brunette? Okay, let's go down this manila folder.
Women are becoming notoriously pickier than men, though.
Right.
It's a big problem.
They have a CVS receipt length checklist of what they want.
There is a growing theme that if women are actually grading, they say they're unhappier with the dating pool right now than men.
I could see that.
They say, and part of it, by the way, is incredibly superficial.
But are men unhappy with the dating pool of women?
Not as unhappy as women.
I think women, you know what's interesting?
Some of it's superficial. They say that men aren't attractive. Blah, blah, blah.
I know, but I'm thinking about all of the way, how we grew up, of how romanticized they made finding your future spouse. Like, you're going to be so in love. You're going to be swept up, and these flowers are going to be flying around you, and you're going to be so like butterflies in your stomach. And so I feel as if when people don't feel that immediately, they're like, oh, this person's not the right one. Or they're just, I don't know. I think they're caught up in what they're supposed to. That just, I mean,
is there like a Christian Tinder? Does that exist?
I don't know. You have an ad for it.
Well, it's like a matchmaking service, I think.
I don't know if there's a Christian Tinder, but matchmaking services I heard are not the best.
No good?
Yeah.
Oh, it's called Christian Mingle. I don't think they're a sponsor of our thing, right?
No.
Isn't there like Farmers Connect too?
For farmers?
Yeah, no, I think there's like there's like Mormon Mingle too.
There's Mormon Mingle?
Yeah, no, there's definitely. Yeah, Dallin probably knows all about it. Not anymore.
But, I was going to say not. It's taken.
Terrell and the gang probably know all about it. No,
Mormon Mingle?
I think there's Mormon Mingle. Yeah. There's also, it's farmersonly.com. That's a thing.
So how do they check to make sure? I guess you have to submit that you have a farm.
You have to show a video of yourself throwing hay around.
Are you serious?
I don't know. It says single in the country, question mark. Are they
looking for my future spouse?
If you prioritize trying to find a spouse, you're much higher likelihood to find one.
But as women, you need to take care of yourself in order to, you can't be looking like Adam Sandler and expect that you're going to.
And men, just figure out ways to make more money. I don't want to say it's not that hard, but if you work hard and apply yourself and obsess, you can make more money and you will be more.
But like you say, stop.
You heard that? You heard that? You heard that? Charlie said, just make more money and bitches will fuck with you. See that? So niggas a simp.
But if you work hard and apply yourself and obsess, you can make more money and you will be more.
But like you say, stop spending money on alcohol. Stop playing video games.
Invest in yourself. Learn more. Be scrappier.
Charlie, I got to do all that for some pussy? Charlie. But Charlie going to say, nah, that's for a family. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Charlie, touche. What kind of woman should I be looking for? Should I be looking for a woman with a resume like your wife? Why can't I just get me a regular woman? Charlie's a simp, Candace, and you need to face it. Everything he does is to promote feminism. How about that, Candace? And you co-signed that shit because you wanted to abandon blacks. Now, I still love you. It don't matter. I'm just trying to put you on game. Your man is a simp, and you know it.
I don't want to say it's easy because it's not necessarily easy,
right?
But it's easy to not be poor if you're a man. You have to make a decision, a conscious choice to not have a poverty mindset.
But what about school debt?
They should have gone to college.
Because college is a scam.
Yeah, I mean, look, men will find a greater pool of women if they increase their income.
Right.
Men will find a greater pool of women if they increase their income. What type of game is that? Candace, Charlie's a simp.
What's your favorite memory pre-kids, post-kids?
Yo, he's a fucking simp, man. Fucking simp, man.
Marriage for the changes that come with it.
Oh, that's a great question. Okay, first and foremost, always remember to put your spouse first.
Get premarital counseling.
Premarital counseling. Put your spouse first.
Save money.
Save money. Oh, instead of investing in a bunch of clothes that they'll grow out of really quickly, they should have you know how people do honeymoon funds?
Well, these are young married couples. Got it.
Don't forget your husband in the chaos of having kids. Now we can go to the next question.
No, I totally agree. What is the next? Daisy, you think sent it.
What should be the order when it comes to God, kids, and marriage, and why? I just kind of
it's God first, then marriage, then kids.
Mm-hmm. Right. It is. You get to choose the next one. These are great questions.
The study shows that married women with kids are the happiest. Why do you think that is? I mean, it's just nature. I mean, just becoming a CEO of a shoe company is not going to give you happiness.
Women have it so mixed up. You can have a career after children, but if you try to have a career while you have your kids, there is no such thing as balance. That is such a myth. Gigi gets those little Montessori toys every month, and there's this one that has the buckets that balance. If I put something in one of those buckets, it's going to drop down. And if I try to balance them, both buckets are filled, which is not realistic. I can't spend half of the day doing one thing. I missed out half of that time with being with the kids. So you have to choose where your heart has to be fully with the home. You have to make that decision on your own, but you can always, after your kids are in school or after they're in high school, you can always go back to work. You can always find a way to get back into the workforce. But if you miss those precious...
See that, guys? In the real world, we say, ma'am, you can do whatever you want if you get a dork like Charlie. First line of order for you women is you gotta get a simp. You know? Because she's throwing her marriage in these little white bitches' faces, and they're not gonna marry a dork like Charlie.
First few years, that is so hard to make up because memories are so much more important than...
Ain't no winner of a beauty pageant gonna marry a dork like Charlie.
An added paycheck.
It's how God has wired us, and it's our nature, which is to have children, not just have a bigger bank account. Next question. What means the most to Charlie coming home from the battlefield? What means most to Erika when Charlie is at home? I'm not quite sure I understand the question.
I understand the question. Charlie will text me and say, keep things boring.
Yes.
So anyways, keep things boring so that he can be on the battlefield and not be mortified when he comes home.
This is a good one. How much did you guys discuss religion, finances, politics, how to raise children before getting engaged? If I could just chime in on one of them. Men, you should be completely in charge of finances.
I totally agree.
And your wife should have nothing to do with it. They can have input, but you find how to raise children before getting engaged. If I could just chime in on one of them. Men, you should be completely in charge of finances.
I totally agree.
And your wife should have nothing to do with it. They can have input, but you should release that burden from your wife and just take care of all the money.
I have to...
There you go, guys. Simp alert, simp alert, simp alert. Why? Why do you say that, Prince? Charlie, where is the best place for me to find a woman that I would believe that would be good enough that I should pay for everything? Please, Charlie. If you could find that place, I think every man would go there. You know? So just saying earn money for who, Charlie? That's simp behavior, brother.
Say having to provide for just as myself as a woman, having to provide for yourself, especially because when I was living in New York City, it all fell on me. It's exhausting. I love
Charlie, do you hear it, Charlie? She was making a bunch of money and paying her own bills, living her life. And when you told her that she wasn't going to be hired, she said, I don't need your job. I'm doing my own thing, Charlie. Charlie, all of a sudden, when she got with you, she said all of that stuff was exhausting. Now that she has you paying all the bills, Charlie, simp. You're a simp, Charlie. She was not exhausted. Wow.
having to provide for just as myself as a woman, having to provide for yourself, especially because when I was living in New York City, it all fell on me. It's exhausting. I love the fact that I can relinquish that role to my husband because he's so good at it, but relinquish it to him and say, I trust you so much. I know you're going to help provide for our family.
Erika, where do you think women would find a man like that? If you could tell the women, all the women, that they could find a man like Charlie, they would be there because you said that they were there. But you're just like every other woman. You're selfish. You won't tell the women where to come get them, get the guys. And you also know that the women ain't worth those guys. They wouldn't know how to pull the finesse off like you do. We cover this stuff all the time, Erika. You just ain't had nobody breaking down your pussy and really exposing Charlie for who he is.
That is one less thing I have to not deal with. I've watched my mom have to deal with that while she had her own business and she was my mom and dad in one package because my parents got divorced while she had her own business and she was.
Here we go.
I have to not deal with. I've watched my mom have to deal with that while she had her own business and she was my mom and dad in one package because my parents.
She was my mom and dad in one package. Where have you heard that story at, guys? Did you hear it in the black community? Is the programming real? Are us men upset that the sisters are programmed? No. We sift through with a fine comb. Charlie didn't do that. That's what makes him a simp. But Prince, he had babies with the woman. Unfortunately, in this new society, we call it part and parcel. Taxation without representation. At least his legacy carries on, you know? You know? If you ask the real players, they'll say, bitches, well, let me tell you something, Charlie. In our community, Charlie Kirk, the shit that you don't understand because you a simp, it plays across all walks of life. They will either divorce you, take your kids away on child support, or even to however far it could go, but it always equals the same thing: man away from the children. Charlie, I'm trying to help.
got divorced when I was really young, but to be able to relinquish that to you is so liberating.
Yep.
And I can focus on other things that are way more important because that's your domain and I don't have to worry about it.
And if
I
you
love
are
that.
marrying a man that is not capable of completely and totally handling the finances, then you should not marry that man.
Charlie, you don't get to say that. Only simps say that because we got to qualify the woman. You cannot do that, Charlie. That is fucking game up. That makes you a simp. Can't do that.
Finances will break a marriage quicker than anything else, period.
But what if he checks all of the boxes? He just is horrible at money. And you're really good at money.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. I mean, then all of a sudden you're talking about a reverse. I think then you're talking about very confused
roles.
gender roles. Then are you going to be a stay-at-home dad? Is that basically what that is?
Okay, but then what about the women that are the...
See, guys, Erika don't play. This woman is good. Now, y'all know over here, we talk about the reverse role. Something that Charlie, he can't even comprehend that shit. Because his value was always based on the dollar. He don't know if a bitch love him or not, because he ain't built like that. He's a simp, Candace. It's very rare that men get to really see the true love of a woman because they're so worried about paying bills, while the women get to see the true love of a man. You know, it's very rare. But Candace, what the fuck would you know?
The ones that write the checks and do the bills. And
good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, it can work. I'm sure it has. But I see those marriages careening for divorce quicker than anything else. Here's why. We as men are hardwired to produce for the family. We find meaning. We find purpose. Tucker would talk about this all the time. He would I'd have the worst day ever, but I'd know that today I'm paying for tuition. Like today, my kids' tuition are being paid for. I can't pay. And for men, we find great purpose in being able to come back home being like, we provided for all of this.
That's right. That is true, Charlie. If it was only the right woman.
And
hold on, I do not want to knock the stay-at-home dads. I do not. There are some who had to temporarily have to switch that role. That happened to my parents a long time ago. Granted, again, they got a divorce, so that probably falls into your bucket. But
I am an anthropologist.
But my dad was a stay-at-home dad for a few years, and I got to say, it was really sweet and really special.
There you go, guys. I might have to use this for my other channel. I didn't know. Listen, we're just breaking down how Charlie is a simp. And you can see, at least I hope, that I'm showing you the interaction between them from after how they became who they were. And now you get to see the interaction. And you could call it what you want as far as just debating. But in the Black community, we know this to be programming. And they will stand by these certain arguments because in a feminist world, conservative feminist world, it's all the same as a liberal feminist world. Because what you're telling the conservative women is to strip their powers away and let the liberal women have all the power. They're not going to do that. They're going to say, no, I'm going to have the same equal power. Okay? And she's young enough to follow the path of her mother to never get with another man. You know.
I was 4, but that was...
Of course, it's not an indictment of the morality.
No, but if you're saying from the get-go, I want to be a stay-at-home
it is a imbalance.
dad.
It's an imbalance of nature. And some people are able to juggle imbalances of nature. But
your husband has to be the one that goes out into the world and builds and battles and comes home, conquers, comes home and is like, this is my nest egg. This is what I worked so hard for. And the wife is like, welcome home, babe. Whatever you need, we're here.
Financial burdens should not be brought into the concern of the wife. It should.
Well, then it bleeds into the kids, and the kids are like, "Oh, I can't afford to do
why
this."
Why am I being so firm on this? Because I know the number one reason why people cheat on their wives and why divorce happens is financial. It is number one. It is the number one thing. It collapses and breaks apart marriages more than anything else. And so, if you have a husband that leads in it, and it's not that again, it comes easy to me, but guys, don't borrow money. You just start with that principle. You're not going to have any credit card debt. Now, you can use credit cards, just pay them off every month. And the only other debt that's acceptable is a mortgage payment. If you just start with that principle, you're going to be in a much better spot.
But how? What if the guy comes from nothing and doesn't know where to start?
Then he shouldn't be getting married.
See that? That's very disrespectful, Charlie. You know? Why should I not get married because I come from nothing? How is that even possible? I was put on this planet to reproduce no matter what my tax bracket is. Just like the immigrants and all the people that may be under me. Are you fair, Charlie, or are you on some other shit? What's good with you, pimp?
And then he's a boy. Boys should not get married.
I love you.
I love you too. But it's true. I mean, if you are not capable of providing for a wife or a family, then you should take some time before you get married. You got to figure yourself out. You got to get a skill. You got to get disciplined. You have to get...
There's a season.
Yes, you're right. And what if it all fails? What if he's just not good enough? Should he still not have a woman? Then what would the women do? Just be alone? What do you want, Charlie? Do you want women to be alone unless the dude? How do you want this to work? Because it's not the way that you think it is. A lot of guys promote for women to be alone, man. You're a fucking feminist, Charlie.
For everything.
Yeah.
And I know that for some young girls out there, or even older women who are still looking for their human, a season of waiting is to encourage you to just continue to trust God's timing. And if you're in a season of pruning, that's probably because God's trying to refine you. And if you're in a season of fruitfulness, then enjoy that and embrace that.
I will add to that men have a much longer horizon of waiting than women.
Mm-hmm.
And what men need to get equipped for actually might not be as natural. Women can make very good mothers with almost no like training. It's just at 23, 24, women can make good mothers.
I don't know about that. That's hit or miss. Because
wow. Yo, son, Charlie, man. You better hope you get some pussy at the end of the night, pimp. You know? You're a virgin shooter above suspicion, Charlie. Nobody's gonna call you a simp. You're a virgin shooter above suspicion. Nobody thinks you're a simp. Everybody thinks you're a nice guy. But you went and you conned Erika Kirk. You simped out and you tried to use star power, money, and leverage and say, hey, I'm going to have an interview with you so I can get some time with you. And then you, at the end of the date, you said, well, I want to date you. I don't want to hire you. I'm going to give you the world. You tricked the bitch, Charlie. But you didn't know one thing, Charlie. She was there to be tricked, you dummy. She was there to be tricked. It's what you call bait. Sitting right there, you was a little guppy fish. And you took the bait. And now Candace is trying to blame the bitch. No, Charlie's a fucking simp. That woman did not say, Charlie, can you be with me? She was just a plant. And Charlie sat there and took the bait. Because he's a fucking virgin. And she knew how to play this nigga. Wow. What a... Yo, this series... Hey, this going to be a long series, guys. I'm sorry. because this is just one episode. Like, I'm just trying to really grill the fact that you can see how much of a simp he is. That's the point.
It's just at 23, 24, women can make good mothers.
I don't know about that. That's hit or miss. Because some women will, they have to be equipped for it too, and their heart's prepared for it, or else they're going to stick their kid in front of Coco Melon. Cuckoo Melon? What is it? Coco Melon? What is it? Miss Rachel? Oh, her voice kills me. Those shows for hours. But they have to be prepared for it too. You have to, again, equally yoked, right? Equally yoked.
Next question. How would you wait well for a spouse?
First of all, this is more of like a health standpoint. Get your blood work done every 6 months.
Don't have sex before you get married.
Don't have sex before you get married. Really.
Don't have sex before you get married. If you ask the prince simp, who is identifying Charlie as a top simp, I believe Charlie believed in his heart to not have sex until he gets married. I believe that's what he did. Now, I didn't see this part of the video, but I had thought he was a virgin already. And he said it himself. Don't have sex until you get married. I believe Charlie stood on that business, B. Facts. Facts. I believe Charlie. That's why I was saying earlier in the video, I would like to ask Candace, what's Charlie's body count? Candace says she was his wingman. Well, what's his body count? And it got me to thinking. Charlie Kirk died, right? Charlie Kirk died, and a lot of people came to his funeral, and they couldn't get in touch with none of his ex-girlfriends. I was like, wow, that's some weird shit. I didn't see no ex-girlfriends or nothing like that. That's when I said, oh, this dude's a dork. We're looking at it from a man's perspective. He was a virgin till he got married. He was a virgin that got married to a bitch who won the beauty pageant as a virgin. Now you see why he kicked you out, Candace? Pussy changes a man.
Work done every 6 months.
Don't have sex before you get married.
Don't have sex before you get married.
I bet you Erika can't say that. You know? Charlie really cleaned her image up. Because Charlie was a virgin. Damn.
Really be intentional about growing down before you grow up and out, meaning make sure that your heart is so rooted in Christ. Make sure that you're reading the Bible every single day. Make sure that you're in a position where you're living your life that he has to seek God in order to even be able to touch the slightest bit of your heart, and make sure that you...
Damn. Let's go there. Matter of fact, let me get my tea. Bernie, don't go nowhere, man. Hey, Bernie, you know who Lori Quaid is? You said from Total Recall. Yeah. I love Total Recall. Now, is Lori Quaid his girl, or is it the Latina bitch? Lori Quaid was his girl that set him up. Had them niggas come in there and try to kill him. Yep. This is crazy, man. Listen, we're going to talk sex when I get my tea. Let me go get my tea.
Well for a spouse.
First of all, this is more of like a health standpoint. Get your blood work done every 6 months.
Don't have sex before you get married.
Don't have sex before you get married. Really be intentional about growing down before you grow up and out, meaning make sure that your heart is so rooted in Christ. Make sure that you're reading the Bible every single day. Make sure that you're in a position where you're living your life that he has to seek God in order to even be able to touch the slightest bit of your heart, and make sure that you are taking good care of yourself. Again, don't dress well. Don't try. You're not going to attract someone if you're not looking your best. Not saying you have to look like you're on a red carpet every single day, but take care of yourself. If you can't afford to get your nails and hair done, that's fine. There's still ways to make yourself look like you care about. I'm not saying from a prideful standpoint, but be great.
Yeah, Bernie. She was probably laughing inside when we said don't have sex. Right, Bernie. You are a certified box investigator. You know what you are looking at. I'm just presenting the evidence and having a good time. You know what I'm saying? You know? Yeah, she do look like Sharon Stone a little touch. I'm just presenting the evidence. And my story is Charlie's a simp. And Candace won't say that because that will open Candace's case up. You got to identify Charlie now. You trying to make him out to be a victim. Charlie is not a victim.
Or to get your nails and hair done, that's fine. There's still ways to make yourself look like you care about. I'm not saying from a prideful standpoint, but be grateful that God gave you the body he gave you. Be grateful that you're healthy. If you're not healthy, that you have doctors in your life to help get you there. Just constantly be grateful. There's always something to be grateful for, and just find a way to be able to get yourself in the proper mindset and headspace of knowing that you are so intentional about this time and you're in a stream of significance rather than focusing on what everyone else has. And you are in a position where when and if the man has sought you out and he will tell you, I am intentional about this. I'm not trying to beat around the bush. I want to date you and I want to marry you. When it's that type of guy, you will know and you'll be ready. You won't say, oh, I don't know about this. Like, you will be prepared. Just take care of yourself. Take care of yourself.
I agree. I think we have one more.
Okay.
Do you want to pick the last one?
No, I want you to.
Okay. What do you think about schooling for kids? What are you planning on doing?
We will be homeschooling, especially in the beginning. At first.
All right. I'm all set up. Let's talk sex. Charlie, you being a virgin, Charlie, you being a virgin, you don't know that your wife could be faking everything with you sexually. Charlie, you being a virgin, you really, really don't know how, I would say, strong the vagina is. You don't know how they could use it for anything. You don't know how they could make you feel great and they could be in pain. You don't know enough. It's impossible for you to say that your wife loved every minute of it just because you have 3 kids. It's impossible.
First, I will be honest, at first I was horrified thinking I am horrible at math and geometry, but I'm excited to some extent. I'm excited. And this is why I think that women lose a portion of their brain capacity after every single kid. It's because then you get excited to homeschool your kids and you get to relearn everything all over again. And you're excited about learning about triangles and octagons and proper grammar all over again because you have that brain space to do it. And you're excited. So we will be homeschooling. Plus, we want to travel with the kids. And plus, to be honest with you, I do not want to deal with kids going up to either of our children and being like, I hate you because of your father.
Eventually, once they get old enough, they'll get into school.
Right,
Maybe
exactly.
Damn. Charlie. That man had big dreams. He said, man, when they get older, the other little kids going to be hating on them because I'm their daddy. Come on, Charlie. Damn.
And being like, I hate you because of your father.
Eventually, once they get old enough, they'll they'll get into school.
Right,
Maybe
exactly.
Sixth, 7th, 8th grade, maybe. But
right, especially for sports
we,
too.
we also travel a lot. But I encourage everyone, if you can homeschool, and if you can't homeschool, I would love to know the reason why.
Or you can do pod schooling where you have a
Mhm.
teacher come to your friend's house and you all kind of
That's right.
share a teacher.
These whiteys grow up different, pimp. You know? These whiteys grow up different. You know? They said pod schooling. A bunch of, middle class and wealthy whites have their kids coming with Yale professors and shit coming to teach them in a little pod of a mansion. Very nice.
I love you.
I love you too. That was really short and quick, but we have more questions to go over.
It was a full episode.
Wow. Time with you flies.
Email us freedom@charlie. It was a full episode.
Wow. Time with you flies.
Email us freedom@charliekirk.com. It was a full episode.
Wow. Time with you flies.
Yo, this bitch is something else. Listen, I know nobody gonna like this, but y'all know I love my gladiators, man. I love boss bitches, man. I'm sorry. We always say, if you're gonna be a boss baddie, be that for your man. That's where the struggle comes in. Because as much shit as Erika just talked, she's still a boss baddie without her man. Just the way, in my opinion, just the way she wanted it. She was born and bred that way. Nothing is her fault. Charlie and no man supposed to be marrying no bitch like that. She's supposed to be for the streets. You know? During this series, we're going to break down how Charlie was just in love with this bitch and in love with this bitch. And nobody, like I say, Candace won't say, well, she broke Charlie's virginity so everybody could gain clarity. Oh, Charlie was a straight fucking sucker. He don't know nothing about no bitches. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Candace is fake. Bring clarity to the situation and say, look, Charlie was wet behind the ears, man. He only slept with about 1 or 2 women. So everybody could get a clear picture of, Erika ain't do shit except what bitches do. Charlie was wet behind the ears, man. And shit, for all we know, like, let me tell you something, Charlie. And it don't matter the race. We have seen bodybuilders, Charlie. I know you've seen it before, Charlie. We've seen bodybuilders with little women. Not midgets, just, small women. Charlie, the question is, do you know why that is? The question is, do you know why that is, or why that it's even possible, Charlie? Well, let me help you. It's because of the pussy, Charlie. No matter how strong and big the biceps and the triceps are, she still can dominate his dick, Charlie. You don't understand how ruthless this game is, Charlie. That woman dominated you, but you stepped into her world, so the blame still falls on you. You didn't know how serious pussy can be. They can have babies, still fuck you, make another baby, and be fucking you, Charlie. They can fuck you down to the ground, Charlie.
you gave me all your pussy.
Yo, wake up, niggas.
Girlfriend, if you swallowing, goggling. Don't be pussy.
Charlie, where we grew up from, Charlie, we tell niggas this.
Don't be pussy whip.
yo, Charlie. Candace won't say it.
Don't be pussy whip. Don't be pussy whip. Whip that pussy. Look. Bang, 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 bang.
Charlie, that's how we grew up, Charlie. And you can't gain that experience being a virgin till marriage, man. It'll fuck you up out here, brother. You don't know how, devious that the vagina can be. Hey, that's what makes you a simp. And like I said, yes, she was a plant, blah, 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 blah. But you stepped into that trap. You ever heard of the Venus flytrap? Well, we call it the pussy flytrap. Sorry, Charlie.
Email.
I love it though, man. It's the same old story. Bitches in America. And Candace, she won't point out the key part. Charlie had a very low body count. He's not experienced with women. So I could see why Erika could have been in his life. She won't tell the truth. Everybody's painting Charlie out to be what? Somebody that a woman got over on. Well, how did that happen? Because Charlie seemed to be blaming men for everything. Charlie has a audacity to blame men for everything. Charlie has to get the blame for this. So Candace is not breaking this thing down correctly. Okay? Without this factor, this is the factor of shit. Most of the men in jail, most of the niggas that died, this is the factor. Simping. Fighting over women, doing shit, sacrificing, all sorts of shit. Trojan horse. It's the same story over and over and over. Hey, y'all want some more Charlie? I got one more, man. Fuck it. What we doing? We almost at 3 hours. Let's cook. I'm still puffing. So we're gonna do some more of Charlie's a Simp. Okay. Next episode we'll move on. Hold on. Let me give you a little bit of this bitch Candace whining. Yo, the bitch Candace was whining because Erika's a bad boss bitch, but she won't say Charlie's a simp. Watch this shit. This shit was hilarious.
Onto the platform, and she decided to bump me in some information in a nice internet game of Red Rover. Take a listen.
Red Rover, I call Candace over. I found something in the Epstein files that may be a missing puzzle piece to the Charlie Kirk investigation. Let's get into it. So after Charlie Kirk had passed away, we started seeing these articles pop up, which made me dig into Erika Kirk, and I found the Romanian Angel stuff. That video blew up, but I didn't have any lawyers sent after me. Instead, it was private investigators asking how I found this information, asking me to send them links. I knew at that point that I was on the right track, was suspecting that Erika Kirk could be involved in something bigger than what we're being told. So I've kept digging, because in every homicide investigation, a potential suspect is the spouse, especially when they have so much to gain, right? Now, this article that was posted shortly after Charlie Kirk's assassination by USA Today.
See that? Y'all see that right there? This is what happened when we got bitches leading us. Ma'am, This is a different type of spouse. She has the president of the United States on her side. And they're trying to close this case before Trump get out of office. Okay?
States that Erika Kirk worked as a real estate agent in New York City for the Corcoran Group. So if we're to believe the story that she works as a real estate agent for the Corcoran Group, then her boss would be Pamela Liebman, because Pamela has been the president and CEO of Corcoran Group since 2000. At least that's what the public has been told. Now, in this Epstein document that's doing an official name search and alias for Lynn Forrester, aka Lindy Rothschild, it states that under her work affiliations that she is the Corcoran Group Inc. president. And it even shows her email, which is redacted. Now, this is a bit of a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, but if Erika was involved in anything sketchy and she needed to receive payment, having her work for the Corcoran Group as a real estate agent would be a very easy way to launder money, right?
So let me just tell you how God works. I don't actually peruse TikTok that often. And I got this video, I think somebody sent it to me. And I had just arrived at an interesting fact about Erika, because, you know, we've been working in the background on this timeline of her life. And it was about her real estate career. An interesting little tidbit that I can add here on her journey. It just so happens to be, like I said, this came across as I was noticing this inexplicable data point. The story that we are told, and the story that Charlie was told, the story that I was told, is that Erika and Charlie Kirk fell in love when he was interviewing her for a job with Turning Point USA. Many people have confirmed this many times over. I'll give you some examples. Here is Tyler Boyer discussing this at Charlie Kirk's memorial.
I got a call. I got a call from Miss Erika Kirk. Miss Arizona 2012. I just want to help, she said. So naturally, I put her right behind the president at that first rally. After that, we talked. It was obvious she was the perfect person for the job that Charlie and I had devised in one of our 24-hour planning sessions. I wanted to hire her. I only had one problem. Charlie Kirk wanted to date her.
Okay, he tells that story. And by the way, he's telling the truth. I was around for that. I just had to scroll in through my own text messages. Here's Erika similarly telling the story herself. Take a listen.
He got finished with his burger and he just sat there and he looked at me and he's like, you know what? I'm not going to hire you. And I was like, that's fine. I don't need this job. I'm doing plenty of other things here in Manhattan. He's like, I'm going to date you.
Okay, so this is a job interview. And I'm going to show you one more example of this. She tells Megyn Kelly this on stage, and this is even after his assassination. So take a listen.
When I met Charlie, the only reason I sat down with him because I thought it was a consulting position for work. I did not date in Manhattan. I saw the pits of hell of the dating pool through my roommates.
An IQ of 85 to 115 is considered average in the US.
So I can tell you, going back in my text messages with Charlie, that this date thing happened September of 2018. We discussed it. Like I said, I was basically like his wingman. And very much enjoyed that. I was very pro Erika and him getting together. I can say that as well. So Charlie interviewed her in New York. That is true because she was looking for a gig with Turning Point USA. And I find that now to be very strange, weird, that she would be looking for a job in politics at the exact same time that she apparently received her New York real estate license. Yeah. So October 2018 is when they began dating in earnest. That is the very month that Erika receives her New York real estate license. She begins dating Charlie Kirk. I'm going to show you that. Here is her license, and I'm going to show you how you figure this out. This is a snapshot. You can see it says this real estate license is valid until October 24th, 2020. In New York, your real estate license lasts for 2 years. Think of it like a driver's license. You have to get that license renewed, and it's every 2 years. So if it expired on October 24th, 2020, that means that she received her real estate license, we can assume, on October 24th, 2018. Right when she started dating Charlie Kirk. I just thought that was super interesting. That didn't exactly make sense to me as I was doing.
Now, you see that right there? Now, from everything that I showed you, Candace found it interesting because she doesn't want to say, well, Erika was a boss bitch. She was already in New York doing her own thing. She wasn't thinking about dating no Charlie Kirk. Charlie went and got starstruck and started simping on the bitch and took the bitch to Hawaii, Candace. You are not telling the truth of the story. She was a boss already.
License. You have to get that license renewed, and it's every 2 years. So if it expired on October 24th, 2020, that means that she received her real estate license, we can assume, on October 24th, 2018.
So when did she put in her application then? Then when did she put in her application? Before Charlie tried to sweep her away with money. But she also was a plant.
right when she started dating Charlie Kirk. I just thought that that was super interesting, but didn't exactly make sense to me as I was doing this timeline, because I remember when Charlie met Erika. I remember Tyler setting this up. I remember the conversations, and I still have the conversations, thankfully, because I delete nothing when all this went down. The career that I was told that Erika had was that she was doing fashion.
Yeah, she does that too. She's a boss. And you let Charlie marry a boss baddie. And you know you fucked up.
When all this went down, the career that I was told that Erika had was that she was doing fashion. Erika was in New York City. I met her at a steakhouse.
Candace flagging? Somebody flagging us or something? Well, let me just speak then. Yeah, son. So when you see it broken down, you see that Candace realizes, nah, this was a boss baddie. This was a boss baddie. And you missed it. You missed it, sis. You cannot blame Erika. I'm sorry. I don't know why you trying to pick this woman's life apart of being a boss baddie. She did nothing wrong. Charlie was starstruck and started simping. Yes, she was a plant. Okay? But the blame is on you and Charlie. The McCoy boy said, don't do it. I don't know. I'm giving you the truth from a man's perspective. And if we're all men and we're looking at it from a man's perspective, we all can see that Charlie was a simp. And Erika did nothing wrong. She's an American woman. Okay? So we're going to break this video down and we're going to do another one tomorrow. All right, guys?